What's going on, y'all? As always, it's your senior yapologist here, Andrew or Elixir.
Hey gang, it's your buddy, the TommyNT. Happy Pride Month, y'all. Nice to see you.
I am not your buddy. I am your enemy. I'd be beefing with anyone on Twitter. You post, I will be in the replies. So if you have a bad opinion, I'll be replying.
Well, I've never had a bad opinion in my life. Is that it then? We're never going to talk again?
I mean, we talk every week, so what does that say?
That's true.
Yeah.
Damn. Maybe I do have bad opinions.
Thanks for joining us on the Misplay for Game podcast, episode 73.
I feel like a guest. I haven't been around in so long.
Yeah.
2 weeks out. Crazy. It's all right. We got him back. It's nice. See, listen, we got a lot of like people on here now. No, we're kind of like
a big deal.
Yeah, we're kind of a big deal around here. In case you guys didn't know.
Why does my camera look so blue, by the way? What the hell?
Oh, it's because you're in the blue world, bro. They smurfed you.
Evil Marcia has been trying
to
take
smurfing
over
too hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't done one with just us three in a minute, which is because we're going to talk about some non-structured, usual misplay bullshit that we wouldn't want to exert people to, or sorry, expose people to out of good consciousness. But if you click on this video link, you're probably, or I suppose maybe if it shows up in your podcatcher or something like Spotify later on down the line, bad luck for you, bro. I got jump scared by the podcast this week when I was driving to Jester Games. Why? I was like 25 minutes into like my Spotify discovery. And I learned that like if your thing ends, like you're at the end of the playlist, it's just like, here's the other stuff you should listen to. And the show was the newest thing in the feed. So I'm driving and it's like I'd been like kicking it. Like it was giving me some like Killers B-sides I hadn't listened to in a while. I was like, oh, nice. Yeah, cool. And then it was like, what's up, everybody? I'm your senior yapologist. And I was like, get me the fuck out of here.
Get me senior out of here.
I put the indicator and the hazards on. I'm like, pull me out. I am done.
But, if you are catching up and you're binging, then make
if
sure...
you're doing 70 and speeding.
Yeah, make sure to hit the like button with one hand whilst keeping the other one firmly on the wheel.
Sorry, hold on. I've just seen Happy Men's Month of Hunting. Look, man, the gays don't get much, and we're out here trying to like overstep them. They'll kill us.
That's true.
Like they'll kill us.
Just my gay homies.
Men don't exist during. Well, unless you're gay, then I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like there's a giant swath of them. Actually.
Yeah, Your Honor, Lucimon is real, and he can hurt you.
It's true, dude. I was enjoying driving into Manchester this week with all the stuff and all the decoration and all the road construction showing up, because I gotta tell you, the like signs and stuff look super cool, bro. It is difficult to get into the parking lot I usually try and go to when I come to town. Did I get my 81? Yeah, it was actually pretty sweet. You want to see the polls?
Did you get it today or yesterday?
Be the camera, Andrew. Check this shit out. Yeah, I pulled a Sting, or I got the 4th Gallant ult that I needed, which was hype. I got the Susanomon, which is topical, and we're gonna talk about it. Oh my god, I got 50 seconds. I got a Stingmon, which I'm gonna throw into the trash, and then I got the one of gold. This is cool. Thanks for listening. And then I got a bunch of 80 bulk because like Harry was like, I need Garurumons. Because me and Harry, shoutouts to Alex from Shark Games. He's been very helpful, but we had a card market order going missing.
I'll do my polls.
Oh yeah, new polls.
Yeah, so my one of my Vanguard decks got waterboarded, so I've had to like rebuy shit.
Sorry, what do you mean waterboarded, bro?
A bottle leaked in my bag, and it was like a deck that, like, the deck box wasn't very sealed, and then it kind of water went in them, and the cards got destroyed. So I had to like rebuild the whole deck from scratch. So we got this guy because he's like good into the Link Joker matchup.
What's he do?
He can be targeted by abilities. So
that would be good into the Link Jokers. Yeah,
I can't get locked. Shoutouts to this guy. This guy's pretty good.
Dude, is this the first week where multiple people at Misplay for Game have played Vanguard in the last 7 days?
When did you play Vanguard?
I did one of the little demo things again.
Yeah, you
Andrew played earlier.
You wanna give me that trigger? You wanna give me that trigger?
I don't know. Maybe I do. There's a couple going.
I got a Nudo. This guy's the go. He draws a lot of cards, and then I had some triggers left.
Ooh, damn.
That's it. Well, I have other bulk, but yeah, these are the relevant ones for my polls.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was good. It was good to be back. with Vanguard. It was fun. I now own a legal Vanguard deck.
The Gargarex deck
for which format?
standard.
Nice.
Yeah, Gargarex. Yeah, it was fun. If one of the homies from like the Justice lot have like Minerva built, I'll give it a try.
No, that is not true. I know a guy that has Minerva built.
Yeah, that's the reason
It
Seb
used to be
doesn't have it
Bidif.
yet. Yeah, well,
Now no
nice.
longer Bidif.
I honestly had to look her up over UKGE because I totally was getting her confused with Artemis. I don't care about Minerva. She's just there. But like, hey, look,
Fellas,
it's something.
we're talking about some small fry shit here. You know what card game I played at Games Expo?
Oh, talk to him. What card game did we play?
I'm gonna tell you, me and Marcio, we had a little trip. We first off, very fun because the guy
It was so long to get there.
Well, it was like I think we actually did like the most inhumane like nerd.
Andrew also griefed us.
Where Marcio and I
swords.
pulled up to try the Naruto Mythos demo. But Naruto had a foam Zabuza sword, so the guy probably just thought we were like Naruto Andes and not like card game dorks. So he was explaining like dead ass drawing cards, and I was like, "This is really nice of you. I appreciate it." But it was cool. And then we played the demo. I was playing the bad guys. Marcy was playing the team guy, Leaf Village stuff. It was real fun. The card game also cool.
Like didn't have reference point for other games, so I was like, "Does this work like in this card game?" He goes,
"Yeah." He was like, "Is it Star Wars?"
Yeah, if it's the guy I think, he learned the game in the hotel the night before. Me and Jamie also played. I'm in the UKGE like trailer for day one, and you can see me watching Jamie resolve the legendary Sanin in front of me. What the fuck are those cards?
Dude, some pretty good cards.
Dude, what the fuck?
Did you get more packs, or is it the same Jiraiya?
It's the same Jiraiya.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. Jiraiya, he's like, listen, I'm gonna do this because we play characters here on this place as a show. But Jiraiya, whatever, who cares? Read the goat, bro. The only one I sleeved. So if you catch me at a Naruto event later this year, first, I don't know who you are, and second, you should trade me your pulls. This guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I came out of the Naruto demo going, damn. If Jesters have bulk, I might assemble 40 cards. I did not buy anything at the venue, mostly because I was tight about the 3 Sanin. They were really pissing me off.
Yeah.
And also I was kind of tight that me and Jamie played twice and missed out on promos twice because we were working the fucking event. So they were like, damn, this game was so interesting. We've got organized play happening over here, but there was like 7 people crowded around me and Jamie resolving cards during the demo. I was like, yo, this shit is nice. I'm like, yeah. Can I have promos tomorrow? Like, if you get here on time, I'm like, you know I won't. I'm like, good luck.
Yeah, every time.
I won that.
Me and Tom got there. The guy was like, we're so sorry about the promos. We're like, we didn't even know that there were promos.
Yeah, bro, nobody let us know.
Dude, they're nice as well. It's like a Naruto like eating ramen. It's
see, you know what's crazy, Andrew, is I actually managed to go the subsequent 7 days without finding out what I'd missed until you did this to me live on the internet.
Yeah, well, just let you know, I went twice. I basically took a break from looking at Disney card games to go play Naruto twice, and Vanguard, I guess. Game's fun. Oh, are we back? Hello, testing. Oh, I can hear you guys. Can you guys
we're
hear
back.
me?
There we go.
Okay,
we're chilling. Shouts to the internet. Yeah. Hey, maybe that's a sign I shouldn't say the inflammatory thing I was about to say.
Big
Naruto card game was fun. I look forward to the starter decks that come out a while after the first set of booster packs.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the like most horrible thing that I've ever like seen about a card game. Is like I was like, so how do I go about building a deck? And it goes, oh yeah, so just like buy
some packs.
He was like, buy 5 packs or whatever, and then like start from there. I was like, so there's no starter deck product. And he goes, it's coming out. And I'm like, oh, so set 1 of the game just exists like this.
Yeah.
So I asked because I remember like a few months ago, the owners of Jesters, they were just like cracking boxes of the game because like set 1 of like boomer card game for like boomer card game player that was like, I remember Yu-Gi-Oh from the playground. I'll give the Naruto TCG a go. So like I asked Ash if they had like any product left. They know like nope. And I was like, so then
we dropped again.
Starter decks will be coming out as well. So if you want to play Naruto TCG, then that shit fucking blows, man.
Yeah, it's tough right now. It's a bummer.
Yeah,
the
what's
game
really
itself
interesting
is
as
okay.
well is it's a reprint. It's a reprint set already. So like there was like demo products that only came out at certain stores, and then
sorry, how can that be? How can set one be a reprint?
Set one is a reprint set already.
That can't be possible.
So imagine the Gundam demo set. Imagine that was classed as initial first edition, and then the set one is a reprint of some cards.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
See, the thing with the game felt kind of like Riftbound adjacent, but to be fair,
brother, it's Marvel Snap.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. According to Ash, who played the original card game, turns out that this is like
Naruto card game, like back in the 2000s.
He was saying that it's the same card game. They just changed like a thing. So technically, Riftbound. Yeah, he was like, yeah, it's like, you know, apples and pears, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I played a little bit of it through like middle school and stuff.
Fellas, can you hear me? Okay, one sec. No, I think we've DC'd from OBS. Like, I'm still live, I think, but your cameras have died. Okay, wait, one sec. I can make it so the audio works. All right, so I've muted your two cameras and just made it desktop audio, so now they should still be able to hear you, even though your cameras are cooked.
Oh, badass, dude. This is sick.
Oh.
Hi, chat. I was a little rainbow box for a minute there. Yeah, Naruto's fun. It's like a fun. Marcy makes a great comparison to Riftbound. But like, I also just think it's like clearly being designed as a move away from. How would I put it? They want your card games these days. Like if you're playing a card game that was designed after like 2023, you end up with like experience where the designers are like, yeah, you're in it till right at the end, and it's like something that I think a lot of card games that we all have been playing for a long time we're not doing. So it's cool. I'm a fan of this sort of spirit. It's the same reason I've been playing a lot of Riftbound recently. But people who've been watching the show for a while know all that because we
shut the frick up about.
We've been working on some stuff
about Riftbound.
Yeah, Riftbound's so good, bro. Listen, y'all aren't trying it yet.
Hey, all the League of Legends games are looking pretty good. You see them 2x KO drops?
Dude, yes, I'm very excited. But, dude, it's kind of a good time to enjoy my circle of interests on the internet right now. I'll say that much. But yeah, that's what else. Anybody else been playing anything cool? Or I mean, I've been playing Digimon, to be fair. I've been playing quite a lot of Digimon right now.
Digimon.
I think Digimon kind of up right now, too. It's just Tommy Tricks put up, he's not here. We didn't invite him this week.
Good.
The mercs got to eat outside. We the kings. The mercs eat out in the streets. I mean, yeah, he put out a good video about, like, the game's actually kind of sick right now. It's just, like, I think
the game is fine. Nothing is like kind of like pissing me off, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
But I think like obviously like I'm speaking like for myself because like I'm a little bit burnt out post Euros and still have been. But I think like if you wanna grind out the format, I think 25 is like pretty decent. Some of the decks like that were kind of egregious in 24 don't feel as egregious. And you have like a bit more options on like what you want to play. I think like say for example, like I played Reboot. Oh, speaking of which, I need to upload the video to a Google Drive or something like that because mine and Harry's deck profiles are recorded. We just haven't passed them over to Andrew. But like I've been playing Reboot, and Reboot is like it's the most fun I'm having with the game because I like app decks and like an app deck is good. So if I'm playing Digimon is because like if I'm having fun playing Digimon it's because like the deck that I like doesn't suck. That's kind of it. But I think the metagame's like pretty neat. Minus like BL Star. Those guys kind of piss me off now that I'm thinking about it.
But then again, she's kind of designed to, like, she's the one hole that's in your current, like, unaffected Bungus thing. It's like that, bro, I hate when they bring scissors to the fucking the paper party. This shit is cringe.
I can give them like safety scissors. Like I can unsharpen their scissors. Like they still have scissors, but they're just not as sharp. Like
plastic crinkle cut scissors.
Yeah, like emergency program shutdown or emergency shutdown program, whatever, whichever one, the white card.
Yeah, shame about the infinite hammer spark they use every
turn. But that's the fact that it's like
who said that? Sorry.
The fact that like they still get effects of cars is like whatever.
Yeah, I think the underlying hater sauce I'm providing to the podcast this week, because I'm done shitting on that there's an Atmon in every set or that Time Stranger's constant or whatever. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear that anymore. Liberator was a disaster, bro. I don't like any of those decks. I think all of them were bad for the game. I think every time a deck got an emblem, Ghosts is at best a tax deck, and that's a disaster, bro. Is at best dude, you're gonna fuck up the gameplay. What a disaster deck. I hope it's never viable.
Surely, I thought
the problem comes from the emblems. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Every emblem gone right away. Misplay for game. We've never hated delays more than this.
Damn, my bad. I don't know. I was living maybe in like La La Land, playing my like reboot deck.
Yeah.
So like I just kind of have decent matchups across the board. So I haven't quite felt as passionate.
The format's more fun now that we're in 25, and there's like Glowing Dawn and the new TS Bears and Muskets, and like even I would play against the cringe Shakumon stuff a couple more weeks.
Oh, sorry,
before I play against before I would choose to go like, well, Ukomon shipped me and the puppets kill me from 4 now. Ha ha ha. Like, you know what I mean? They're in the end, not a one of the Liberators was a genuinely enjoyable thing to play into or as.
What about heavy metal? I'm just.
What about heavy metal?
Yeah, that one's something.
Just because it sucks doesn't mean it's not exciting. Wow, dude, the whole deck is Patamon.
Look, some of these decks did suck. Like, and they just like, you get to watch them. It's like watching, if you were in the sidelines of the tuning exams, you're watching Rock Lee and you're like, yo, get them, white boy. And then he gets like jumped by Gara at the very end. You're like, that was interesting. Die.
Like, listen, it deserves to be playable, but I just think there's like levels to this shit where it's like there are just more interesting things to have been in the card game than that. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's the logical extreme of feast or famine, right? Like the whole deck is your discard pile is your hand. So it would be completely miserable if it was super consistent and you had no ways of countering that. But the minute you provide a counter to that, it's complete garbage. And it's like, wow, what an exciting alternative to the usual gameplay.
I think like the emblem decks, it's kind of like it's so early 2026, bro. Like I've kind of just like moved past them.
You're healed, dude. You're in your like chill era.
I was like, at first I was thinking like,
chat on bitter.
At first I was like, oh, nothing's like really pissing me off. And then I started thinking about Three Musketeers, and I was like, you know what? I think the egg is like a little bit too good, and the Garomon is also like a little bit too egregious. Like, what the fuck is up with that? But also, it's the kind of deck that unless you got like, a little bit of money, most people are too broke to play.
You should buy your shit when they're cheap. Chat.
So as a result, I don't have to deal with it. And also, I can just not go to locals. And then I avoid the problem entirely.
That's true, actually. Holiday Marcio dodges the matchup.
I'm in my commentator lane, big plans for the 2026. I'll be at Euros hopefully, but not playing.
I was doing my bitching there, but like high-key format's more fun now that there's other shit that's not just like training delay, emblem delay, here I go. Like I would rather play against like we'll talk about some specific things in a minute because there's like the top 7 of Perth. I love the TAC guys. They give you a surprise every time they do an event. But we have the top 7 from TAC, and it's like 3 muskets, but it's like, goddamn, at least that's a deck that's doing something on the field. You know what I mean? They're like not just like for 4 turns, delay. Like the game happens around their cards instead of what you check out of their security.
My problem with muskets is like the amount of damage that they can deal. So it's like okay, so The purple deck has 2 unsuspends, neat.
Yeah.
And also can like burn twice, neat.
Yeah.
And then it also has like follow-up, so they can still play for board, okay. And then it also has bombs in security, sure. And it doesn't pay for anything.
Digimon likes that now. Remember, options are cool now, Marcio.
Please
Dude,
buy dual cards.
Yeah, spell slinging is cool, bro. Did you try Hoodie? Did you not think it was fun when you would check a Comet Hammer and lose the game?
I think that's what it is. Not being able to play Hoodie anymore, like nothing feels the same.
The high is gone.
Marcio, have you tried playing Three Muskets?
It's fun, Marcio.
No.
It's just
That's the thing.
No.
I think once the purple cards are on your side of the board, you'll be like, yo, this is kind of neat, huh? You see how I didn't pay for anything?
I hate women decks. I'm sorry. if your deck has a woman on it, that shit's fucking like for
it costs 3 times more money.
Yeah, I'm not paying extra to play a fucking unsuspend burn deck. If I wanted to do that, I would play Medusa.
You can borrow Mind Goat. I bought them when they were £10 each because that deck sucked until it got Gatomon.
No, I have better things to do with my time than to sit through a fucking Musket's turn.
To be fair, you are.
Like, I'm sorry.
You get to play
the deck wasn't the only time the deck was cool was when we got like the promo Avenge Kidmon. That like specific period of
you were just like popping your shit to loop him.
Yeah,
that was fun. I like that
specific period of Muskets where it was actually 3 Musketeers and not once again Bielstarmon. I'll give them some credit. Yeah, that guy. That card was cool as fuck. When they stopped playing this card, the deck became cringe again.
I mean, it's the problem with this card is that it's not called Avenge Kidmon Duel, so it can't beat what's his name? Can't beat Rebootmon.
Dual cards are also like low-key pissing. You know what? I'm actually getting agitated again.
Yes.
I was having a great time.
Mad.
I was having a great time, and then you fucking guys were like, you know, let's do our bi-weekly podcast.
Bi-weekly? What are you talking about?
Dual cards are so funny because the amount of like, yeah, I'm unaffected by Digimon. Oh, so you just lose to the mirror mechanic that got launched.
Please buy dual cards.
Yes. Even like Shine, but Shine is so funny, dude. The amount of people that are like, oh, my Shine Greymon deck, yeah, I just bought all my Shine Greymon stuff. I got my AD01 support, and the deck still breaks. It's like these people have been getting gaslit by Big Dats.
Yeah.
Big Dats has a chokehold on Shine players, and they can't stop bricking. It's so fucking funny. They can't stop bricking. This deck just doesn't work. This deck. Yeah, you know, sometimes the Viltrumites come out, but
which is so funny, by the way. I watched
really
Kai do it. It kicks ass.
It just doesn't happen consistently.
Dude,
like,
I love
deck
that.
Is unsalvageable.
I love that they're incapable of making it so when they make 2 decks that you're not like, you're either supposed to buy one of each and mix them together like Adventure, or they build 2 different decks that kind of release together and you're supposed to buy 2 of the same deck. One of those decks will be playable. The other one,
this one's not gonna stay terrible forever. That's the thing. Like, if by the end of the year, Dats will have a top. I mean that.
When it would be so funny if it was like the Fell for It award again.
Yeah,
scenario.
dude. If I got baited by Ravemon again,
Tom's buying max rarity Ravemon cards.
I just want 1 Chromon. No, listen.
The Chromon adds back. That's all it does.
Yeah, it's gonna be you're thinking of Falcomon, bro. Chromon's not even a card yet.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Again.
Look, my point being,
I'll get you the mod.
Really
I'll get you the whole mod. I'll get you the Fell for It again.
Yeah. There's this clip from Misplay from like, dude, when was the last time Shine got a card? Like before this? Like it had been like half a year. It was BT21.
The Rave disrespect. Sorry, there's nothing to respect about Ravemon.
There's nothing to respect about Ravemon. I just like him. I liked him from the TV show, so I bought the cards, and then he's been terrible for 5 years.
Anyway,
there's this clip from Misplay from like when BT21 was out, and we made a joke about how, you know how Sakuya had just got the Rika that is like essentially a half a mem boost for them every turn.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is the card they should make that will fix Shine, because if half the Marcuses they're playing are like search cards, it feels pretty good to play the deck. But they just won't do that. They keep making another Marcus that gives you 1 memory and a little bit of DP minus when you turn it sideways, or
It's
like
so,
1 memory and jamming. Like it
it's
doesn't,
so
doesn't
unplayable.
help, dude. Yeah, I played into. I've been playing Creepymon. I played it at
Oh,
the
yeah.
3v3. I
That's
played
what
it at
you did.
locals this week, and my like one consistent winning matchup is Shine, because Shine is 50 brick cards,
Yeah, you
and if
just
you mill
mill
out
them
their
out.
good shit, you win.
Even-
So yeah, I was just
even,
like,
like-
I just felt like there was no way Creepy could be bad after 8 months. Or sorry, after 6 months, but truly it is terrible. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, Shine's funny, bro. But I do think Dats will be good by the end of the year.
Well-
Not as good as Beat Break, because Beat Break just got a better dual
Are
card.
they getting more support in 26, or was 25 like?
Yeah, because Rosemon is confirmed, and Rosemon is getting
Yeah.
purple, so it'll be like the Yoshi Rosemon wave, like Mirage just got.
Alright.
And dude, the Rosemon's a way better starting point than anything Mirage has Dats tagged. This card's actually pretty okay.
The thing with the Mirage is like all the Mirage copers are like, oh, you know, Mirage is gonna be so back when we get the new support. And it's like the amount of like defensive shit that they're printing these days, like you get counter effects without even having to block. Like Mirage will just lose to like counter the Digivolve 1. Like
Yeah.
when the opponent swings, counter the Digivolve 1, and then the deck is just unplayable. So I mean, I hope that, you know, the Dats copers maybe get something to the extent of like Glowing Dawn. But then like I look at Glowing Dawn and I go,
God, yeah, the Glowing Dawn
unsuspending
got...
Revelation of Light is just kind of annoying, and I don't really like it.
Well, Glowing Dawn is funny, right? Because this is how you know that TV Tokyo aren't remaking or like doing a HD version of Digimon Data Squad. We're never getting that in HD. But because this is airing right now, you can tune in live on Saturdays on Crunchyroll to watch Digimon Beat Break. This deck's going to be good. They're going to stop at nothing to make this deck.
That's what
live.
I'm saying.
Deck already
One
has
starter deck is already good, and the one is there.
Well, yeah, but it won't stay like this forever. That's what I'm saying. Like, we know eventually Dats is just like, by law of large numbers, this shit just keeps happening.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
My problem.
Belfort
with the-
again award will be real funny in 6 months, guys. But that's just, Rosemon can't be bad this many times in a row. There's no way.
Like the whole, I think like the game is more dynamic in a sense where like, you know, we would be using options to like beat each other's Digimon up, but then the problem is that like some of these decks are still OTK decks at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like Glowing Dawn is still an OTK
Yeah, you can
deck.
still do 6 damage.
Beelstar is still for the most part an OTK deck. So, and then we just go back to like playing fucking Digimon Emperor, and then you know, it's just like it's like a loop of like how the Digimon like metagame cycle works.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
these decks also have the anti-OTK deck now because all their tamers are Hammer Sparks, which is like the craziest
Yeah.
new power creep.
So like I legit lost the game at UK game. Like our last game, we won anyway. Like we won the set.
Oh,
but-
did you do well at Games Expo? I'm just learning about this.
When the video comes out, right?
Oh, right, yeah, cool. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll try to get it uploaded. I legit just forgot. So for those that don't know, that didn't watch Tommy Tricks because he's a little small fry. You know, he's
Shout out
he's
to
a
new upcoming guy, Tommy Tricks. You should watch his videos or
little
something.
baby YouTube channel. Okay, we're the big boys. Okay, when he gets to 100 subs, he can maybe like sit next to me on the bus. So until then, I don't even have 100 subs, which is really funny.
Do you know that? That's crazy.
I don't think so. Everybody subscribe to me at
No,
KBeeDS.
didn't you have like subs on Twitch and stuff? Am I remembering?
No, he's got 87. He's right.
Yeah,
Oh, my bad, Slim. Got more than me on YouTube. I never did anything on YouTube.
Yo, you turned the overlay blue with Twitch Prime. Did you know you can be like also a guy that did well at UKG, DHM,
Allegedly.
and turn the overlay blue for free. Take money away from a billionaire and give it to the 3 people on screen so we can send more people to do dubiously well at events.
Yeah.
So like when obviously the video gets uploaded, I'm sure Andrew will be like we'll do like the collaboration or whatever, right? Because you know I'm trying to get a little piece of that pie.
Misplay got some moves going. Don't worry about it.
What was I talking about?
You're talking about how your event went because you got sacked by the Tamer cards.
Oh, yeah.
They're really
so,
fun,
like,
quirky new cards.
So I basically had like a really tight memory turn. And to be fair, I kind of played into it because the guy was bricked on like no level 4, and I was trying to like checkmate him when realistically I probably would have had another 2 turns easily. So I promote and I'm like, okay, he has a guy out. I can do my tempo turn, like deal 4 damage and then kill on the following turn because I had emergency program shutdown in my hand. But unfortunately, I was at 0. So I swing in at fucking security and the tamer comes out and seals turn. And although I do make reboot sideways, I didn't get to cast program shutdown. So then he just slams a 5 and then uses the 5 on play to cast the starter deck 6, and then just outs me because option effect. And then I just lost the game because Hammer Spark. But like that's the same as like any other deck. But the difference here is that I also checked like 3 tamers in security. So he had a tamer that set him to 3, then he gained 2 more memory, and then he was like at 5, and he just like slammed the guy and then played for tempo, and I was just like, yeah, man. But any Olympian would have done the same thing for the most part. Actually, no, Olympians would not have done it because I would have been unaffected. It's specifically because it is an option. It's an option that develops a body. That shit's fucking criminal. Why does it do that?
Please buy Joker.
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't know. I think that's a lot of bullshit about like, the format is there's some really sacky garbage in there, but like kind of nostalgic sacky garbage. Like I'm not gonna hold you. Like maybe I've just had too much Kool-Aid over the years, but like it feels like, and I used to get mad about this comparison, but playing BT25 kind of feels like playing BT10 again, where like the stuff that beats your ass is like genuinely like, well, there was absolutely nothing I can do about that. You are the biggest cheating rat I've ever played against. Go fuck yourself. And then 1 round later, you do that to your opponent, and you're like, I'm the GOAT. I'm never been better. Nobody could stop me. I'm on the run today.
Well, I sort of get what you're saying because like some of the security is just like really annoying right now.
They've really numbered that up recently.
Tamers and options and delays and guys that come out for free.
And some of the damn Digimon, dude. I'm so annoyed by playing against Adventure these days.
Like I had a game where I OTK'd someone because Craftmon came out of security, and I was like, oh, that's the extra point of damage.
Yeah, I lose now.
Like, oh, neat. I just get to make a 6 for free because the Admon cards are really balanced. So I just killed someone just because they checked my security. Or like one of the games, the guy checked promo hero delay.
Ooh.
And it was just kind of like, yeah, I have like plus 9 memory for free just because you checked my security. So like I guess somebody brought up the fact that we were going to talk about like the slop decks, and
yeah, that's on the docket.
Yeah, Rainbow.
Do we want to talk about that in a second?
It is a real bad time to be flaming Rainbow decks, huh?
Hey gang, Andrew named this video on YouTube, we're good at Cardle. Do we just want to do that really fast?
Yo, a detoxing Cardle.
Detox, everyone calm down. We're trying a new thing. Shout out to definitely Jeff. Jeff, one day if I figure out a thing that I'd really like to work with you on, maybe we'll get you on the show. That'd be really
well,
cool.
he does have the what's the name of the stupid role for content creators?
The niche internet for celebrities. That's a mini kill original. That's one
of mine.
Really? Niche internet? I swear to God, that was a JB joke. Because we had him on the show where he called himself that, and it made me laugh.
Oh yeah, no, he stole that from me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So this is, for those of you that don't know, this is
card/.net.
Card/.net, and they have the Cardle. So
most of you will probably be familiar with Jeff for the extensive and very detailed system of graphics that Jeff has made over the prolonged period of Digimon content being dispersed on the internet, which teach you how to not cheat or not be cheated at the Digimon TCG. I use this website mostly for looking stuff up really quickly on the fly when I'm on a commentary. There's like a really bad minute and a half when me and Andrew did the semifinals. I was just like Googling Neptunemon and his rulings. But yeah, the website's great for it. But like, listen, I'm getting old, guys. I'm kind of unk-coded these days. So we're doing Wordles, but it's about Digimon. So Misplay for Game does a mobile game.
Every streamer at 11 p.m. It's like, all right, time to hit the daily Wordle. This is us.
All right, fellas, I have a proposition for you. If we enjoy this and we do it regularly, I think we should start with EX3 VMon, because we definitely didn't yoink the art. Wait, what's your question, Marcia?
I was going to say, Somebody in the chat, aka your brother, was just like, he found, what was the word in Wordle? It was like crate or whatever. He gave us the crate opening.
Oh, yeah. There's like a mathematically optimal one.
Yeah, which apparently is Magna X.
Oh, because it has the most colors and the most tags. Yeah, sure. You know what? I'll arbitrarily.
Does it have the most colors and most tags now? Surely it's like
probably
VB
the combination of the most colors.
Like
and
VB
most
Omnimon, like Loki probably has the most tags now.
Yeah,
right?
but it's not. You don't want VB Omnimon because VB Omnimon's the newest damn card to be revealed. So everything that if we get it wrong, everything is older than it.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking. Yeah, no. Okay, yeah. Being close to the middle does help, but no,
Apparently, people have beef with this Omnimon that's being released.
Dude, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I kind of don't care.
What the fuck?
Omnimon pays for your Scrimblow Bimblow deck.
EX304 Vmon right there.
Oh, it's 04. Oh, there it is.
He's a first red rookie.
All right, so we have to int to start things off for legal reasons. So
it's a rare.
It was a rare Digimon, dude. We're kicking it.
Yeah, rare. It's not red. It's
okay.
Later than EX3, and we learned nothing else.
Okay, what other rares are there? Let's.
What other?
Guys, I can't think of another rare.
Let me open card dev.
Yo,
we're cheating.
Are we cheating? Can I not look? Do I just have to like?
Yeah,
you just have to know. You just have to have it in your heart of hearts, dude. It's like you can't have a dictionary for Wordle.
What's like a good rare?
Why don't we go with Phantomon from
BT20? If we wanted to go like new set, we could go with the Shutmon from like the Appmon one.
Is that not too new though? Because I feel like if we get something that's not the newest but still relatively new, if it's north of it, we know that we're talking with a very new card, or we've at least
up on the EX3 means it's newer than EX3, right?
Later
than EX3, so it's more recent.
Cerberus
is a funny pick,
dude. Let's go. Cerberus.
Hell yeah.
EX5.
Oh, and it's not just purple, and it was a level 5. Dang, what dual color purple cards?
Later than EX5. Okay, so it's this year.
No, that's
oh my gosh, EX5 is so long ago. Yeah, I feel like we need to pick a really new card.
BT20 Pyldramon. Oh, sorry, no, it can't be because it would be part red. So
yeah, no, it needs to be part red.
Yeah,
part purple.
Part purple. It's 0% red because red got an X.
Isn't there like? Oh, no, never mind.
Why don't we go purple green? What's the in the nature
Argomon,
spirits?
purple green Argomon.
Yeah, I like that.
No. That card's not a rare. That card's.
Oh, you're right. It's not got foil. Thank you. Good save.
Yes. One of the Wing Guardian rares.
That's what I was thinking.
Tropiamon.
Yeah.
Hold on. It's
Toropiamon, I believe so. I can't remember off the top of my head because I've only used Hydramon's a rare, but it's a 6.
I feel like Toropiamon is a blender.
Yeah.
We could.
Well, fellas, we know it's purple. Partly, we know it's. Okay, here's my call. Right, we need to figure out what color it is with purple. Right. So let's just pick something that it's a lot of colors that's not purple. Let's just use Magna X. Let's use Magna X here.
Sorry.
So narrow down the colors.
No, but the cost is higher than 8, so it's a mega.
Yeah, so send it on Magna X, the secret rare, and we're gonna narrow down what color it is really quickly.
Sure.
Because it's purple and probably one of these colors.
BT16 Magnamon X antibody.
All right, so it's one of purple, yellow, blue, or black.
Okay.
Could it be the?
So we learned nothing.
No, we learned that it's one of those 3 colors, which was a huge win because it's not green.
We know that it's not green, not red.
Yeah.
But so it's purple, yellow, purple, blue, or purple, black.
Exactly. Purple, yellow.
And then what about the cost?
It's higher than 12.
But it's also a level 5. What?
It's Lucemon. It's
that's what I was gonna say. It's a Lucemon. There is a Lucemon that's a rare. From it's Chaos Mode.
Chaos Mode from EX6 is a super rare. I think it's EX10.
No, yes,
I'm pretty sure it's
EX10. Yeah, EX10, yeah.
Oh, Baba
Easy.
Dang, gang.
Dude, that play cost level 5 one is
Yeah, it costs 5. I was like, whoa, 5, but it's higher than 12. What the hell? That's a Lucemon.
Well, hey, sorry we spoiled it, gang. But listen, if you're in the Misplay for Game Discord and you're out here doing the cardle every day, you can there's a copy thing, like when your dad sends you a Wordle. You can share that, put it in the games chat in the Misplay server. I want to see those.
Everybody's just gonna put
but if you don't get one, you're an idiot. Anyway, that was Cardle. Thanks, Andrew, for naming the episode "We're Nice at Digimon Cardle."
Yeah, we're nice at Digimon Cardle. Now, for people that didn't see the ping for the stream, but are specifically watching, that one guy that's posting his next order run. I've been enthralled watching the next order run.
That's been awesome.
We're so good at making TikToks.
We have so many new friends in that Discord server. I'm glad that all of you are there. Let's talk about events really quick. Let's knock this shit out the list.
Yeah, one
dude,
sec.
we are on business today. Misplay for Game is back, dude.
887 friends in that Discord. Well, I guess 3 of us are there, so it's like 884. But like,
and if you're kind of your real life friends,
yeah, no, they count.
That is the thing, is that, you know, unless we're all paid, the 3 of us never hang out in real life. So
true. I basically didn't see you guys over the weekend.
So funny, dude. I played against somebody, like, these people, they were just like people that were like fans of the show. It was so funny. They were asking me about, like, they were asking where you were, Andrew. Like, oh, you know, where's Elixir? And I go, I don't know. And he goes, but like, you guys like do the podcast? I was like, yeah, I don't really talk to Andrew outside of the podcast. And they go, really? And I go,
we're just doing drama. That's so funny.
I was just kind of fucking with these guys.
Oh, you didn't do it as hard as Tom put this guy through the fucking ringer. You have to talk about this one.
And then he was like asking about like some one of the birthdays that you had. I think it was like one of your roommates' birthdays or something. I was like, don't really talk to the guy.
Oh yeah, and they were like, I was at somebody's birthday. That was like the thing.
Did you post that you were at somebody's?
I swear to God, I did not tweet.
Did Andrew tweet it?
Did you tweet out this was a birthday party whose name I won't say on the show, Andrew? But we ended at a beer pong place.
Misplay for Game.
Me and a friend of ours.
I don't remember. I must have.
So apparently somebody posted.
Misplay for Game has dedicated fans because they know things that even I don't know.
Yeah, they're in the lore. Dude, crazy. What are we talking about? We're talking about events. Let's get this. Oh, that's right. Misplay. We're on business, gang. We're on the clock. We're killing it this week. We're so dang good. We're trying to win a podcast award for how efficient we are. Andrew, I don't mean to worry you, but it looks like somebody's trying to sneak across the room from
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Cat's.
That go cameo.
Yeah, Cat's got to be fed.
Shouts, Kellen Muriel.
Yeah, did some cool art that some people, if you remember, so if you were at UKG, some of you actually got your hands on some of these sleeves. Who's coming to Paris from M4G? I think Billy is going.
That's what
I need to check on the sleeve count. That might not be. Did we? No, we did not mail the jacket to Billy.
No, because the goal is to give it to Jambo, who's going, who will give it to Billy in Paris.
I see. We're hoping Jambo locks.
They're not called Misplay for Game merchants for no reason. They're
not called merchants. Actually, is the thing.
Yeah, I was hoping somebody would pick up on that.
Oh my bad. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm getting old, so sometimes my brain goes a little bit. Yeah. Do we want to knock out the events and stuff before we do our big yap? Because we got a lot to say this week.
Yeah,
dude. Okay, your haircut reminds me of a fucking Disney movie, and I can't figure out which one it is. Oh, it's not. I don't like. All of a sudden, I was like, dude, your haircut reminds me of like a fucking Disney movie.
It's really messed up right now. I'm gonna try and fix it real fast.
It's not Treasure Planet. Fuck.
It's kind of uncomfortable. With the
wait. I know. I think I know who you're talking about because he actually came up in the Lorcana original a bunch.
Doorman from Deadlock. Mods ban him.
No.
Mods ban him.
It's the Atlantis dude.
Oh my god, Emily fucking got your ass. She said you look like Milo from Treasure Island. Dude, you're so cooked.
Yeah, she's kind of got you dead to rights. I can't lie.
Don't Google Milo. Are you stupid?
No, wait. This Milo Thatch was putting in so much work over the weekend. He was getting his hands dirty.
Atlantis or whatever. I don't fucking watch these movies. Actually, I do watch.
It's okay. The commentators also got Treasure Planet and Atlantis mixed up. I was like, damn.
I prefer Treasure Planet. Atlantis was fun.
Visual joke. Visual joke alert.
All right,
dude, yeah, we are such a bad podcast.
No,
truly a terrible.
We're the greatest podcast. Yeah, so shout out to
Tommy Tricks being the one list over on DCG Nexus. You guys didn't even get your whole team's list up. It's just Tom's.
You can DM him. Like you guys can. You can make that
Great haircut, by the way. It reminded me of that one guy.
Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro.
No, I'm just like, I'm not bringing this up to just like randomly roast you.
Were you at Locals on Wednesday? No, you weren't. That's
no,
right.
I wasn't.
Of course.
Why would I do that?
We literally just talked about this. I was like, he saved. I was like, he saw me this week and didn't razz me about it, but he waited till Saturday.
No, this is the first time I'm seeing you since Games Expo.
Yeah, that's true. That's because we don't hang out in real life.
We just don't hang out. We don't talk. We don't
talk. We have no common interests. We're really guys. All I really want to do is play Riftbound.
At your house.
Yeah, at my house. Me and
which
Faye.
The address is.
Become a Mega Tier member to find out.
Hang out. Come to Tommy's barbecue.
Oh my god. Yeah, come
Tommy's
pick weeks for me, chat. Listen, chat. You guys have seen us do this before. I just want to do this really quick. The shouts to homie. I think his actual tag is syndicated, which would be cooler for me to use that instead of just calling him Mountain Tom all the time. Shouts to Tom who runs DCG Nexus.
Yeah.
He's put a lot of work into the site recently, including like a really dope tool that I'm just going to be using wholesale over at MCR DTCG, which just spits out your locals graphic. It means I don't have to do the photoshopping that I never basically got a design that I liked that I thought fit Manchester enough. So we're going to start doing those. But all that to say, Tom has been a gem of recording and preserving all the Digimon scene in the West. If you are at a locals event or you are running a regular online event or anything to that degree, put it up here. For the love of God, just put it somewhere so we have the data recorded.
Yeah, either here or Digilab or both.
Yeah, like, anywhere. Just put
it somewhere. We don't need
so
exclusivity on data.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, let's talk the 1v1s. So there were 2 days of 1v1s. There was Friday and there was Sunday.
Yes, this appears to be Sunday.
Is Sundays. Sundays, as I understand it, Heike, kind of a banger who's who of UK Digimon right now. I saw a picture of like I think round 4. And it was like Jambo and Faye and Tommy Tricks all in a row sat next to each other, which was cool. Just the Toxin again. You guys might remember Shane from his performance on Red Hybrid at Bristol that Marcio and Andrew commentated.
Got cooked.
Yeah, that matchup did not look playable. But
I've never seen a man get dissected so badly in my life.
That was a tough break. You gotta hate to see like a dude you really like actually know in real life.
It's really cool.
Like,
it's really cool just because of like how it showed up as like the shit Red Hybrid tops, and everyone went shit Red Hybrid tops.
Yeah,
he does a bunch of cool stuff, and I'm like, wow, there's so many interesting lines.
By the way.
Yeah, that's
we did eventually get the confirmation. But here, basically, he won on.
It's also not in the ruling. I just completely forgot.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this the fastest deck overviews we've ever done because we're not here to complain about these decks right now.
Cheater.
But yeah, so this is slightly more.
You guys want me to come to locals to play against this?
No, Seb's on a different 50.
I might be playing it though, Marcio. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. It's just that broken. Everyone that's mad about muskets is mad about the wrong deck. Anyway, this is a slightly more Time Stranger oriented version of the Shaku stuff. Some people have called it Teapot OTK. I think that's kind of cute.
We're
but
British.
I think TS Angels kind of misses the point. I'm cool calling it that for the sake of it being a searchable term.
I like Shake Shack personally.
Well. Shake Shack goes crazy. I wish that one would catch on.
You know what I like? I like Astral Caster. How about that, Andrew?
Yeah, but you'd have to wear like Bagramon merch.
Okay,
yeah, to be fair, like what it was a hard sell back then.
Generals.
Yeah, that would have been cool, dude. I could have had a Lilithmon. I could be that guy who wears Lilithmon merch, dude. Oh my god.
100%. I would be blast. You know, just like because I've been playing a lot of the thing in Marvel Rivals.
I've never heard of that game. So it's for Junomon. It doesn't normally do this. The articulation to playing a lot more Time Stranger stuff means that things like the Cyclonemon got a lot of value. And then truly, if absolutely nothing else is your takeaway from this, there's just no way that Nyaramon survives another 6 months. The egg must die. We must stop this thing. It must be gone. We must remove it every single time. It can't keep happening. Yeah.
I love that they also did the colors the other way around. Like they didn't change the colors. They were like, no, yellow on top of other color was not the problem. That was not why Hoodiemon was able to infinitely loof it. There's no way that this one fix would have. So it happened again, huh?
Yep. But yeah, congrats to Shane. I like the Minerva mon a lot. I've watched a couple of Minerva versions on this, which are neat. Where it's like you swing the Minerva, you get the Cyclone, you swing for game. Like that line is neat.
Was this a best of one event or a best of?
No,
three?
the 3v3 was best of 3. To be fair, it was like
no, the 3v3 was best of 1.
The 1v1 was best of 3.
What?
You said 3v3.
Sorry, did I say 3v3 is best of... My bad, dude, my bad. Our numbers are hard on brain damaged. Yeah, the event that only one person played in at a time was the competitive format, and the ding dong format where you play with your buddies.
Ding dong format, it takes a lot more skill, buddy.
What are you Donald Trump handing me, bro?
I have to pick my deck around my teammates, and the communication.
Yeah, you can be like someone that was in the Misplay server.
We retired at the top. Misplay is a regional 3v3 champion.
Yeah,
we're out here.
They took me and Tom out of the team, and you guys got second. Also, you're the line manager, by the way. Why'd you let TommyNT give takebacks? You were supposed to be cracking the whip.
I was on the Harry was between us.
Why would you let Harry be middle player? You're the ideas guy.
Because there was actually a really good reason for this. Because we wanted to.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a good reason actually.
Like we were like, yeah, don't fucking give takebacks.
No, that's what you snitched to your boss.
Tricks.
No, Harry, you should have snitched to your boss.
You listen to me, buddy. I'm your boss. Okay, you listen to me. No takebacks.
Just like that. Oh, we're both colleagues. You don't tell me what to do. I'm like, boss. He's giving takebacks.
The funniest thing about that, it was kind of funny because there were two. It was like one. It was like like 2.5 men.
Maybe we should pull up TommyNT's. Oh, this is the wrong event. Never mind.
So there was like an OmniX team that was Jambo and Tamas, but then
the deck, 6th place.
The third OmniX member couldn't make it, Kessa, so they were down an OmniX member. They had to get Jambo's roommate, who then also forgot puppet tokens.
I don't think he owns puppet tokens.
Oh, sorry, he didn't own puppet tokens. And then there was another OmniX branch. Well, wait, is Vortex in OmniX or is it just Montoya?
It's just Montoya.
Okay, so then there was the other, B squad half OmniX.
Sounds like it was the A squad on the day, to be honest.
They were the A squad. So it was Montoya on Glowing Dawn, Vortex on. No, I
Omni,
think Vortex.
Right?
No, it wasn't Omni. I think Vortex was on Glowing Dawn, and then Montoya was on something else.
Oh no, he was on Jupiter. I think he was on Jupiter.
I think he was on some kind of like TS pile, and then Jess was on Bears. So when we hear that the other two teams had already the Jess team, Montoya's team have already won. Me and Jess were just kind of playing it out to just play the matchup out because we had so much time to kill.
You played the Digimon card game for the event you paid to play in? Whoa.
Yeah. And then the funniest thing was I win in time, I find lethal in time, and we were like, oh, this doesn't matter, right? Because I thought there was just a 2-0 result, but no, it actually did matter because I took it to a 2-1 basically. So if Trix didn't give the takebacks, we probably could have won. Yeah.
Also, finding out that they had a bye and you guys got griefed on tiebreakers.
Yeah, they had a bye, so they had the best tiebreakers.
And then you won your pair down.
Yeah, we won. It wasn't a pair down.
You were the pair down.
There were 2 undefeated teams at that. Wait, no, hold on.
You were the pair down. You beat the other undefeated team.
Yeah, they were undefeated and we beat them. So there was 3 teams that were X1 by the end of the day, but Montoya's team, they got a bye.
So those OmniX folks, they seem pretty good at this Digimon game.
One OmniX folk, okay?
Yeah, sorry, true. Not all of them.
We can't give OmniX, they didn't even have jackets, so they're not a real team. Okay, you guys make Twitter posts and, you kidnap
they do good
Jambo.
streams. I like the streams. Maybe we're gonna, maybe you'll see some of us on a stream down the line.
So we were a real team. So, because we have jackets.
Speaking of OmniX, by the way, shouts to homie Thomas, Rich Life
for brackets
OmniX, getting 2nd place on muskets. There's a lot of muskets to talk about, but this is the dude I always when muskets gets popularized. This is the dude who's been playing it since it's been in the bin.
Shout out to the one Kaiser Leomon. That's mine. I gave that
hybrid.
Yeah. He was like, does anyone have the nice one? I'm like, yeah, I've had the nice one for months. And he's like, word, I'll pay you for it. I'm like, surely this thing is worth dirt. Look it up. No. Costs a lot.
It's a purple hybrid. But yeah, very sick. I like the adjustment to, even though you could still be playing just for like Bozo OTK, the Ruin mode, as I understand it, did actually come up a couple times. So it's a card still worth considering. And I've seen a couple people. Granted, this was best of 3, so it's maybe a little less crazy there. But if you're a viewer who happens to be playing in a best of 1 region, lists with 2 of those things have done pretty good over there too. So your mileage may vary, but this is the sort of dude who I would follow online to learn more about muskets.
I like Satella as well. Satella's really impressed me a lot.
It's a cool, like, when this deck finds its in archetype like defensive utility cards, because it's not a tech card, some muskets in text, but like when it can recur it and get these pieces moving, so like it doesn't struggle to keep the value there.
This deck is only cool because of the apps.
I like Sparrowmon. I think it's a fun-looking Digimon.
Oh, see, their jerseys won't even arrive on time, so they're still a fake team.
No, if it's any consolation, our jackets weren't supposed to arrive on time for UKG, so maybe they'll get lucky and theyll show up.
Yeah, it's not in frame. There we go.
No, we plan everything perfectly all the time because we are a real organization.
Yeah, 100%.
We got Bears in 3rd.
Yeah.
So this I will
this
I will say is actually kind of interesting because there's like 2 pieces of like interaction in this list that you don't see in a lot of the Bears lists that I want to highlight. The first one is Kiwimon. Kiwimon represents conceptually a way for you to beat the Rebootmon reboot timing, which in some cases does mean that your Callusmons will, like, reboot is like a pretty good answer to Callus in some cases because reboot can get bigger and can kind of stonewall you. So the Kiwi keeping it tapped down means that like you can play around its effect because it won't reboot at your start of main. Sorry, during your unsuspend phase. So it's a neat interaction, and it's a green Digimon, so Paradise Coliseum and Gear Forest can play it. Speaking of Gear Forest, this one kills me because it's just here for the top effect. We're playing neither Saris nor Bacchusmon. Yeah, it's just more sack, but like it's a different name. So like even though you may already have the like DP from the Coliseum, just being able to get Alliance if you didn't have Rush, converting your bozos onto the battle is like kind of nice actually. And it's like even more DP when they stack together, which is nice.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's a good list. It's one of those ones where I'm like, the longer you watch it, like resolve, the more like I'm like, oh, this is like a really intuitive list. Like it was clearly like a very well thought out line. And then Title Stream is my vote for the funniest Time Stranger security bomb still.
Dude, I had a game where Seb was playing Mirage and he used Invisi to flip my top security and its Title Stream, and we're both staring at it going, how do you out this? And the answer is you can't.
Yeah, sometimes you're just done.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Jupiter we got 4th and 5th, which is interesting. They're different lists. I'll give them that.
I have some thoughts about TS Jupiter. I think this deck is kind of mid.
Go ahead.
I just think the deck's kind of mid. It doesn't have like a defined win condition.
When you said you had thoughts, I thought you meant you had like a bunch of shit you were gonna say, not just
bullet points.
Yeah, I'm with you now. All right,
Young Blicky. It's like, so my thing with like the Jupiter deck is like, yeah, it got more support, right? Like you have more cards, so you have to play less bad cards, but your win condition is still like really weak. The deck wants to play this like theoretical like
a level 4 attack deck. Like you're
it's like, oh, you know, I get to like swing for 2 checks, and then the Jupiter, and then I get to like burn 1, but it's not really like a control deck, and it's not really an OTK deck. So you just kind of like promote. Your follow-up is like okay, but like any deck that clears you and then just like takes away like some of your resources, you have like no real comeback. Like I guess you can drop like Juno, but
yeah, Juno Ruin is like the thing you see some people do.
Like the unsuspend Jupiter is like okay, like I was like fine, but there are so many decks that I'm like, the deck just kind of loses to some to a lot of decks.
I think that shit is actually incredibly annoying. I think the blue one is egregious.
It's annoying.
Yeah, the card is absolutely obscene for having an on play that you spit out off the Juno sometimes.
If you're playing like a deck that also doesn't have an OTK, then you kind of just get diffed by like, well, their cards are newer. But any deck that's just like, also you can just like ignore them. The deck doesn't have real interaction, so you can just ignore it.
Jupiter Juno is kind of annoying to like interact with because there's no like real. Unless you can double tap something, there's no real way of interacting with the 2 of them in a way that matters meaningfully.
What I'm saying is like just don't interact with them. Just leave them alone.
Okay, sometimes you can't.
If your deck has like mandatory interaction, I suppose.
Yeah. Also,
or they have the Minerva,
Throne
and then
Room.
everything is a blocker that you have to interact with.
What does Throne Room give? Does it give you?
Sorry, the purple one. It gives Scapegoat and Alliance, I think.
I
can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, they wasn't on it either. I have no idea.
Oh no, it's not called Throne Room. It's
it is Throne Room, right? Because the other one's Temple of the Beginning.
I just feel like this deck is like the worst.
Oh wait, are you talking about the Abyss area Throne Room?
No, the yellow purple one.
It's Alliance and Scapegoat. I was right. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
you have a yellow purple Digimon, they get Alliance. If you have Junimon, you get Scapegoat.
Okay. Cool.
I just feel like this deck doesn't have a clear win condition, and then like it's just kind of worse than some of the other TS decks. But you know, it's like the no. I'll be the one to top with. It has like Gallantmon syndrome.
Yeah, I was gonna say this deck is really funny to me because it's the most similar to Gallantmon I've ever seen a yellow deck get, except yellow has more generically broken, busted staple stuff. So like when you go, well, I didn't win the game, ruin mode.
I think it's also
sometimes
funny.
Works.
It's like Gallantmon. If Gallantmon did actually have useful Sakuya and Mega Gargo pieces, if Plan A didn't work, because
yeah, to a degree for sure.
Yeah, like you do get to slam Juno, you do get to slam Venus, Minerva to be like, ooh, didn't OTK, Plan B. Whereas Gallantmon has always been the single chud.
I'll give this the degree to which I think this deck actually represents like a degree of like onboard interaction and like value you can get multiple turn over turn is Inori on your opponent's turn because she's an all turns effect. So like the combination of Temple of Beginnings to like throw your dude into security to then like trigger an Inori to revolve something, like that effect feels powerful to me. Like when I have gotten like sometimes your opponent will not play around a Jupitermon, like you'll burn a security off the Jupiter all turns, you'll throw him into security to replace him, you'll tap in Nori, you'll Jupiter on their turn, or you'll like Aegiochus on their turn and Digivolve. Like there's a lot of like parts of how it moves where like it just kind of sacks you out of hand information. You just have to go like, hey, you're probably not holding it. So I don't know. I don't think it's totally dead in the water. I think the average card quality of Time Stranger stuff is too high for Jupiter to ever really truly flop. But like this is kind of fraud watch Jupitermon right now. Like don't get me wrong. I know we're looking at two of them in top 16, maybe a third, I forget. But I just genuinely don't think this deck is going to be like the guy in the format if Wrath mode Jupitermon and like whatever BT26 brings it. Like this deck has something to prove to me still, and I feel like it's not there yet. Like half the time I play against Jupitermon, I'm more afraid of Venus. So
I do think I do think that deck is kind of, if you have to play the mid range with it, it is incredibly obnoxious. Like the amount of times that you put them on 0 and they go not dead though, and then you go back up and you go, oh shit, that is 2 more security plus lethal I have to find.
It kind of just can fatigue some decks. Like if your deck doesn't have like a clean, like clean win condition, it can kind of fatigue them.
Mm-hmm. This is not exactly white bread beat break because there is a higher emphasis on not like, sorry, Habakiri like OTK this is not that. This is like an actual, to a degree, like kind of glowing dawn toolbox variation. Partly because it's playing the Reina and Makoto, which like gives you like a distinct second axis by which you can push, and you're not just playing Tomorrow and Tomorrow Kyo or Kyo and Tomorrow Kyo. But also like it's like an extended toolbox of like the value you get from your 5s. So like you're not just like Murasame OTKing by swinging, going into the beat break 6 and comboing. Sorry, the dual 6 and comboing. Like you are actually able to like, oh well, my deck can present like a clapback piece. So like, you know, if I've got Monarch Lisa and Murasame ST, like you can go from hand and like kind of rebuild in people's faces. Like it's really obnoxious actually. You watch them, like you kind of take them off board for a minute, and then like their next action can be the slam the 6 dual card option them in and like Arts Digivolve. It is, and like Arcturus is like very Artratismon is very difficult to interact with in that context. And this kind of thing plays in well against something like a Ruin mode. So
it is very funny looking at this. The like on TCG Player, the most expensive part is one of the worst cards in the deck. Like Glowing Dawn being so much because it's a promo and in theory could get better, but everyone's like, yeah, fuck boost. E-Pulse is the greatest card to have ever existed.
E-Pulse is like, I think one of the reasons to like play this deck. I think this deck has one of the strongest like turn ones in the game. Like Rookie in the back, E-Pulse, play out Tamer. is an
So
insane
good.
amount of advantage.
Especially if you're second and like they had to go searcher first, then that hole in that line goes one less memory because the tamer gives you a memory back on the on play. Ridiculous, dude. Yeah, if you're sick of Glowing Dawn, tell somebody else about it because I don't care because this deck's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Rebootmon getting a top was funny though. I at one point think I may have made a joke about how long we would be waiting for.
What was the name of the player?
Mid Boss Ben.
No idea who that is.
They've attended some other
I know
UK
the name.
events. Yeah.
It's got a lot of the white bread stuff in here. The neat thing I would say to a degree that like we haven't seen from other placements is actually running the TommyNT as like the extra fusion material. The Karis will see play regardless because it's kind of your stopgap protection for everything that Rebootmon just doesn't beat.
Sorry, what's the app fusion for Shut?
For Shutmon?
Yeah, it's Luga.
It's Logamon and it's not Timemon. Is it?
No,
it is Timemon. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot which one Timemon fused for. Yes.
Yeah, so Timemon's part of two different lines.
You can run Timemon here for the Digivolve and as a material to fuse, which is neat.
So, as somebody who has a second place with Rebootmon, the thing about this list in particular is like they didn't double down on like the things that are like strong about this deck. I think like playing the Offmon, the Logamon, and the Timon are just objectively worse than playing some other pieces. Like I think Gossip is fine. But you should really like with app decks for the most part, you only ever want to like lean towards like one of the fives. So in this case, like the boot package is just better than the shut package because boot includes craft and craft is like 6 draws.
The best card in the game. Like in the deck.
Yeah, and then the other thing that this deck gets to do is because your 6 is white, you get to play emergency shutdown program or emergency program shutdown. Which is like the reason why this deck is viable, but like only playing one means that like you just won't see it for the matchups that you need. And then the other thing is like the Memsetter Haru is okay for like draw power, but this deck doesn't need draw. This deck needs memory. So the promo promo Haru is better than the Memsetter one.
Why draw one when you can dig 3?
Is there no count for like having one of the Memsetter and some number of the promo matter? Like
you have cyber engage now. No, you have.
No, but it's not. I'm not saying it's like
better player
doesn't give you the memory, right? Like it's the
Harry didn't carry me, and Trix was there for fun. What are we talking about?
All I'm saying is, isn't it more memory in a turn to play at least one of the Memsetter Haru so that when you use Haru and Kazuki and Itsuki, you go like even, it's like 5 memory, right? Like
so the problem with Kazuki and Itsuki is that they are relying on your opponent like having a Digimon, whereas like the Memsetter Heroes, like you just trigger it whenever you want.
Yeah, and he starts at 3, so.
Well, the promo Haru, the problem that the promo Haru has is that like you want 3 cost tamers to be able to play off of Cyber Engage because then you convert your Cyber Engage into a Surge and a Hammer Spark on the turn that like because you can use Cyber Engage to
play. So it's about Cyber Engage not having the extra 1 memory cost.
Well, it's like a little bit of both, right? It's the fact it's also that like you can only like by playing more Harus, you are more likely to trigger like the Gatch.
Yeah.
Because like realistically you only need one of the dual tamer to kind of like play the game. Like if you have 2, it's kind of unnecessary.
Okay, so I understand.
If you're gonna have multiple tamers, you'd rather have the Harus because they are just like more memory.
They're extra extension.
Especially because you're not paying for your links in the same memory thresholds that you're paying for links in other app decks because this deck is cheating your links.
To link.
Going plus, like you're spending nothing then going plus off of promo as opposed to starting at 3 and spending nothing and eventually going negative.
So because like
that makes sense.
The thing with like
for answering for me and the people at home.
The thing with like Onmon is like because Onmon links for 1 less, so you go like Onmon plus Gatch going to a 4 for 0. And then your 4 links for 1 less.
Logimon is outrageous.
Logi is like
insane. What a card. Listen, Craftmon is a devil, but Logimon's not slouching.
So if you go like Craft, the only downside is like you sometimes bot deck the Harus, but
it's okay. Your Craftmon out of security is gonna top deck rip the reboot out of security.
Between like Gossip and Shut and like Karis, you have ways to just get your reboot from trash because like sometimes you also just mill it. But you just rather focus on like that half of the that half of the deck, and also fucking what's it called, Bootmon. Bootmon being a tamer suspend not once per turn is really good.
So annoying.
Yeah.
This card is so bozo pilled.
It lets you like do lines where you go like boot, suspend like tamers and Digimon, and then shut to stop them from unsuspending, and then boot to just bottom deck this thing that you want, and then just go 2/2. Then you put the opponent on, you're dead next turn. Even if you swing up 5, and then for two, so if you go swing up 5 for 1 damage, and then a reboot for 2 damage, and then put some at 3, that's killed next turn off of the same stack.
This deck is demented to me because I know there's a chance I have to play it at something this year.
Oh, also they were correct. This list is correct in playing the swipe. The swipe is just better than the whatever memory reduction time. Like you need to see your broken card, which is emergency program shutdown.
Okay.
Like that's the reason to play the deck. Like you play like 2 to 3 program shutdown, and like swipe lets you get to it.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
I saw a list top in Japan that was, or sorry, not just once, to be fair. It was like one player who did pretty well at a couple like store qualifiers, and then there was the DC one like 3-3s this weekend that I saw it as well, where some people are playing 5 egg Atmon. And
yeah, that's fine.
It's a lot of people were doing 2-3, and it was like 2 draw 3 memory 1.
It's fine. The thing is like because of like the search off of like promo hard is like nice once in a while, but like genuinely the memories would like let you get back into games a lot more, because like it's so uncomfortable for the opponent to try pass you, because like you'll get a memory off of each tamer, plus like even if you go to 1 you still go to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just better out of security because it just like filters through your deck. Like even if you whiff on getting whatever, that's 3 cards closer to getting to program shutdown.
Yeah, makes sense.
Speaking of a couple cards closer, the funniest list in top 16.
This was a disaster for my mental. Truly a disaster. But you know what is sick about this deck getting a result that we all have to pretend we talk about is that I only own 1 SP Monica, so I'm using this as an excuse to myself.
The one that you pulled?
Yeah, the one that I pulled at pre-release. Yes, sir. So I will be playing this. I paid the customs charge on my order this weekend, so that my shit should show up soon. But I want this deck to be.
Trix played it
it's
this week.
It's so fun. The longer you play it, the more you're like, I know it's not that crazy. Like, evidently, listen, I'm not trying to knock any players when I say this. I think it can do okay. It just happens. I think it's the best Crimson Blaze of using Time Stranger deck. People have forgotten about Crimson Blaze because new toy syndrome to a degree, but like it's still playable. It's still got some things it does.
Yeah. You get like mass board, like DP minus the combo.
Yeah, board into Crimson Blaze, and it's just so unfair.
Like, I was gonna say Bears could also play Crimson Blaze, but
it's the DP minus with it, right? Like it's so like you will regularly -4 everything, and then Crimson Blaze for 9k Digimon is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else. Anyone, if you want to learn more about this, you should just go watch DigiDread's 3-part video series he's done on these. They've been really like I care about this archetype and I would like it for it to be better. And he's been the person I know most on the Iron who's been putting stuff for it. But yeah, I don't know. The thing with this deck is it's like the longer you play it, the more you're like, oh, I get why it has its weird quirks and stuff, because if it didn't and it was all at Time Stranger timing and it had genuinely no interaction points, like Nokia's Omnimon soup ping pong thing, at least like you're searching cards in kind of a traditional, less stupid Time Stranger way. But like this deck can kill you from Asuna, and it's just so outrageous when it does it. So yeah, I'm hoping it gets more cards down the line because it's fun. It's fun as hell to play it. I like this version a little bit more consistently, with the Dan Kanan as the extra spot versus the list that did really well at Eagle's Nest one week that me and Tommy Tricks were playing for a while, where they played the EX5 Apollomon. That like fixes your damage. It was cool.
Apollomon's really funny. Like being able
I like it a lot.
Being able to blitz and then be like, all right, unsuspend.
All right, this is TAC Games this weekend. We only have 7 on the list, so we're going to fly through this really fast. There were 4 muskets in Top Cut. I think maybe we just talk about the first one, and I think it was let me pull up the Facebook page so I can confirm this really fast. The first one and the 3rd place one as well. Yeah, first and third were on a similar list. And the quirk here, as pointed out this morning by Green Hill Mario in the Misplay for Game Discord, there's like kind of text circulating around where you use Talisman in this deck because you can refill Talisman's sources with the option cards. So you can re-enable Fortitude multiple times.
That's really funny.
Yeah, and this
That's pretty
significant effect means that you actually do get to beat the things that normally, like, most decks can out the first Callus, right? But it's like, if you can resolve a Callus that you reload next, and the floodgate goes back on, you can take people on like 2 off turns, 3 off turns, which means you can really hide for like bind red trigger, bind red trigger, bind red trigger, go for game. So it's interesting to see how like that adaptation has shaken up.
Promo Asana is cute.
It's cool to pop the floodgate. I messed around with it a little bit. It is nice to get the extra memory because it's less conditional, but like genuinely just having a thing you can play off the Gatomon or light off of BT24 Asana. So it's like BT24 Asana, float, play the Tamer. The Tamer can't be floodgated by playing a free Digimon. So then you play the Asana, pop the floodgate, then spit all your other Asanas and do the combo. Like it's a neat point of interaction that this deck gets.
And this is the highest place you will ever see a Titamon Scorbolucci ever.
Or Dianamon, which I'm glad you glazed over.
Yeah, you know.
It's again, so the idea is you can re-enable the floodgates to buy yourself more time. But I mentioned earlier, like some people were on 2 Shines and 2 BL X. This is another 2 BL X. If you don't currently have the BL X, it is not going to kill you to not have a playset.
Unless you live in the US, in which case 108 for the regular arts, that's crazy.
Well, also you should, I mean, they tell you guys what cards are themed every expansion 5 or 6 months ahead of time. Like
yeah,
at a certain point, you guys are the losing or fall for it again.
Yeah, if you played Time Stranger and didn't go, oh damn, I should probably buy these, that's on you.
Yeah,
if you're waiting for it to come on to Switch, I'm sorry you had to find out this way.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, Styraco and Growlloop snuck in at third. The Bears list is somewhat samey to some of the other things we've seen. This is OCE Growlmon back at it again.
Aussie
when will
Fentanyl.
they hit Growlmon X? He is ruining Top Cut once again.
Wait, what does the treadmill training even find? Is it just Gallimon?
Yeah, Andrew.
This is kind of neat.
It's Growlloop again. You know what I mean? It's the same damn deck. You guys have seen this one before. I'm sure there'll be like 20 fucking YouTube comments on this thing later being like, I'm so sick of this deck. God damn. But like, you know what deck isn't in Top Cut right now in its usual numbers is, oh guys, there's only one Medusamon here. I wonder where all the Medusas went. Is it possible that maybe they don't have a good Muskets matchup and it's biting them in the ass? And other things to think about. And this is a much more like, this is similar to the lists me and Marcio enjoyed back in EX11 format with the Ukomon Cyclonemon effect beatdown version, unlike friend of the show Minerva, who just raw dogged it with no Ukomons and took it all the way home. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, it turns out water is wet, purple's the best color in Digimon, and all claims that this was the best deck in the format were just people who were coping. But yeah.
Funny ass
that's OCE. Shoutouts to the one dude who could hack it with a deck that beats the discard pile.
And also shoutouts to the content creator Hivemind. Atting people on Twitter does indeed form connections. This might be by next week more filled out with more players. Also, reminder,
please.
If you attended an event, be it 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and your deck isn't here, you can upload your list in order to fill out the data so we can get more fully fleshed out events and more data for nerds to look at. It's us. We're nerds.
All right, let's get to the yapping. That's what we got saved.
Oh.
So
there I was scrolling scrolling X, the everything app. And I've seen a number of points of discussion this week about how bummed out everyone is to see Omnimon getting another card. Dude, it's called Virus Busters. What do you think it was going to be?
And I, like Marcio, immediately had a pretty similar reaction where I was like, well, you can't help them all. Some dudes just don't want to read the press release. Some people don't play Digimon outside of the card game media. So maybe I'm like, I understand you maybe didn't get what Virus Busters coming to the card game meant. But
who's the most one of the two most important virus busters in my
maybe like the one guy.
Dude, it's so funny as well because if you know, maybe you're like a Misplay for game merchant and you really enjoy watching the bonus content we do, where we visit humulos.com.
Bro, by the way, Terry called the Omnimon. He was like, "Yeah, it's the first Omnimon to have DP minus."
Yeah.
Is the goat.
It was either gonna be Proxima, Maste, or Omni. And the funniest bit about it is if you were like me and were going, man, I wonder what they could do for Metal Empire, and then realizing there are only 2 DNA megas in Metal Empire, and one of them is currently legally classed as a level 6. There was no surprise for Omnimon. They weren't going to make Metal Empire Mon. You were getting an Omnimon just by nature of technicality. But yeah, the Chaos being a 7 has been the other funniest thing that people have been melting down about on Twitter because
you can't attack the heavy metal Digimon with it.
It being level 6 specifically is so funny.
High key, I truly
tired of that card.
I'm sure in this moment, I think I understand how people feel about Omnimon. I would blink an eye never at the idea that I would never get another Machine Dramon in the card game. I'm so sick of this bozo. But here's how it goes, though. You can't actually control these things unless you're me and you write the emails. But it has there's been a lot of discussion this week about like Omni Slop or Trait Slop or Trait Soup or whatever the fuck people want to call it. And we've seen it in the Misplay server. And I've like occasionally waded my way in there to be like, what is a soup deck to you guys? So I thought, we are the 3 greatest minds in the Digimon TCG. That much is certain and completely like. What did we say the other week? We don't. Yeah, we're not even yappers. What do we were the 3 wise men on the mountain that people come to.
I've got a PhD in yapology, bro. Like
I'm
philanthropists, visionaries, prophets, messiahs.
Messiah is true. I died and came back.
Tellers,
sages. We're sages. Sages.
Elders.
Warlocks with an outbox.
Preachers.
Yeah. Hey, we're the GOAT. So we're gonna give you guys the objectively correct take on this shit because I'm so fed up with it, to be honest. And there have been some I would say informed opinions on it, and then some really boring knee jerk ones on it. And I feel like between the 3 of us, there's something to talk about here because we're gonna get to the bottom of soup. I've seen a lot of people. We had maybe someone on this show the other week got mad at somebody talking about in a live chat about how maybe tribal archetype decks were dead or something.
Is there someone in the room with us right now?
I wouldn't know. I said maybe. And I just think it's weird, right? Because like Muskets is 4 of the top 8 again, attack, and maybe 5 if they find the 8th place player. Who knows? All of these field decks, of course, these don't count as archetypes. This is trait soup. Because why would a thing from a Digimon media to me means that only ties Agumon is the archetype. If you like the Digivice, that means you're wrong, and that's not what archetype is. That's trait soup. No, I'm joking though, because really, I think the actual we've tried to define it on the show. And I think a lot of people have said like, oh, Cyber Sleuth good stuff was trait soup, or Time Stranger Olympus stuff is trait soup, or whatever. Or sorry, it's slop, right? That's what people. That's the term.
Slop if it's on their side of the table.
Yeah. My bad, chat. But I wanna break the ice on this because I think if they're intentionally designing these decks with exact specific rule boxes, this is not slop. It is maybe the least slop thing it could be.
This is a fine crafted stew.
Yeah, this is at best Betty Crocker's fucking easy bake oven. Make your pancakes at home with powder mix. You know what I mean?
What's
It's the opposite of slop. Slop is like when Purple Hybrid's playing Argo.
What's the Chef
Boyardee?
Yeah, Chef Boyardee ravioli or Grandma Metal Gurumon on assembly.
These cards are so busy now, though, by the way, just like as a consequence of them going, we want to make sure that we don't have a Jesmon problem where Jesmon is kind of being pulled in 2 ways, like divorced parents about to end up in the League of Legends pit. They've made it so it can visit both parents. This Greymon does go over every Greymon, but then also goes over MEVB and can decode in Agumon Greymon, as well as MEVB, and can assembly with level 5, level 4, level 3 with Agumon Greymon or MEVB. There's so much, like, War Greymon's looking down like, damn, bro, can you read all that? Because I can't.
I think the funniest thing is, like, I look at the colors and I go, damn, Virus Imperial could make this.
We weren't supposed to be leaking the funny stuff straight away, Marcio. Come on, bro.
Dude, I can't.
It's kind of
Dude,
funny.
wait, this isn't going to be in place for Rotherham. I was going to say, I can't wait for Rotherham. We're going to show up, and instead of that one Jessmon guy that's on, like, Omnimon, which is be like, the Virus Imperial is going to make War Greymon at combat step, and we'll go, I mean, sure.
Yeah. No, I wanna get to the bottom of this, right? Because do we want to start specifically talking about the Omnimon that everyone's mad about or whatever, or do we want to talk about?
I don't think people are mad about it. I think I'm maybe.
Some people are mad. They hate seeing the word Omnimon.
Some people are actually mad. Some people, I guess, are new to the world.
Shout out to Romania.
I was gonna say, is he Romanian or
Romanian Omnimon?
Or from Moldova, or like.
Barrier in Omnimon is crazy.
Well, the first one I saw was Romania. Shout out to the Misplay for Game Discord for sleuthing that one immediately. So this is Romanian Omnimon. We do make the rules.
Do you think Americans, like, when the Americans wake up and like look at this card, do you think they know what like Romania is? Do you think they'll be able to like point Romania on the map?
No, this is a European tech card.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's. Well, this is an Omnimon for the European metagame.
Yeah, this Omnimon doesn't.
You can tell that because it's yellow and blue.
Yeah, this Omnimon doesn't OTK. They don't care about it.
Okay. I don't understand why people are upset about this card.
Well, because Marcio, it's one, it's another Omnimon, but two, it has too many traits, and traits are bad, man. Did you not know?
It doesn't even have that many keywords.
It has 3. 5 is the standard now.
Yeah. Well, I guess it has 4 because recovery +1 is like at the bottom there somewhere, and block is barely even a real keyword.
Yeah, like most things should have blocker by default.
Crazy. Sorry, I'm writing that one down from memory gauge. Holy shit.
Like at this point, like
most Digimon should have blocker.
Marcio,
oh my god! Stop the segment.
Marcio comes back and he's just like, yeah, you know, I've just been really enjoying my time away from the game. Green propaganda, green propaganda, green propaganda. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you know, it's fine. You know, the game is in a great spot. Green propaganda.
Okay, let's get into this, fellas. I am gonna propose a hypothetical situation here, and we're gonna dissect this together, right? Hypothesis. To me, there is no greater slop deck than Dark Animal Engine Leviamon. It was just boosts, trainings, and purple Digimon that were individually broken. They had nothing to do with each other. The only synergies they had were the text effects that happened. They were not designed together. They weren't intended to work together. They were just glued together by being all one color that you could use generic broken stuff to fuse into.
I would almost want to argue
more
it.
Slop than Time Stranger Olympus 12.
I almost want to argue it just because, like, the dark animals. But the problem is the Gobbly is if they were using Labra instead of Gobbly.
Yeah, like Gobbly and Ogre were like king slop cards, right?
Well, I mean, they're a package. But like if there was Labra, if Labra was with the other 2 dogs, it's like a very set dark animal package because that's intended Evo line that just happens to make some of the most broken level 6s in the game.
Yeah.
But they're on Gobbly, who is just better.
Than memory.
Yeah, it gives you the memory
generically broken card.
It gives you the memory sooner in the combo. So
it isn't tagged to any specific thing. It was like there was no particular gameplay mechanic that they were trying to reinforce or any core cohesive set design that was tying all these things together. It was just these are a package of 50 of the most broken purple cards.
Yeah. Green is a close second, but yeah, no.
I watched the video recently, which was talking about how like conservatives get made like the straw man argument about like you can't get black coffee anywhere anymore. And
okay, I'm ready. I'm listening.
How they're like, I just want a black coffee. I don't want none of this macchiato frappuccino with, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Herba latte.
Anybody serves coffee anymore? Can I just get some black coffee?
Can I get Digimon that is one color that evolves into guy?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what it is. That people getting upset about it. I'm just like, yeah, everything is just this one thing that I don't like. I just want the thing that I like. Can I get the thing that I like?
Can I just get a white Omnimon that was bot decked off of every boost, please?
Like, it's like.
Wait, is this the first not white of this guy Omnimon?
That might be the first Omnimon that isn't white.
He's Romanian.
Wow. Hold
Wait,
on.
hold
Hey,
on.
detour from this great bit we're doing.
He's ethnic now. Okay. Why is he yellow? Because it's cool.
Omnimon.
Because he's a virus buster.
Level
He's
7.
a virus buster, and the virus busters are.
Yeah, this
I don't
is-
know how to help you.
Bro,
Different Omnimons are different.
This is-
not all Omnimons are the same
Alta
Omnimon.
B is black.
Yeah, but I'm saying this Omnimon.
Like Omnimon.
Yeah, but I was
Like-
actually gonna say Omnimon in name. This is like the first Omnimon
Right,
in
but I'm
name.
talking
not
about the dude whose Digimon database entry says his name is Omegamon.
Yes, no, this is the first non-white one.
Yeah.
in
Hey,
the
if you know
game.
nothing about the pendulum stuff, by the way, feel free to check out Misplay for Games. Done a whole bunch of stuff where we talked about the pendulums and things over the years. I have spent too long in this sort of dojo.
Literally,
over the
like,
years.
if people have like a genuine question, literally the reason why he's not white is because he's a virus buster.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, in the Digimon world, there are many different variations of like. There's not just one Omnimon. There can be multiple Omnimons based off of like what is currently happening. So for this case, this Omnimon happens to be yellow versus like if it was like a.
If it's Nokia's Omnimon, he is not like that's the Royal Knight's Omnimon.
It's
Yes.
not Kai and
he
Matt's.
doesn't necessarily care about the virus buster field. Some like when we talk about Digimon as being categorized, like some Digimon will have multiple fields, like we've seen in EX12's reveals.
It's like different little bubbles and different.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to think like
It's your
you guys
social
ever
circles.
play-
Who do they hang out with?
Yeah, it's a great way to describe it. It's
Friend
like,
group
in
A.
Pokemon, there's like egg groups. You know how there's like fields and human type and water 1 and water 2 and water 3.
Hold on. Somebody pissed me off. Bloom is Slop. Plant Vegetation Fairy. That was like an archetype that they tried to push.
Bloom is not Slop. When people use the Bloom engine for whatever Bozo Green deck
The
on top,
Bloom
that's Slop.
engine.
The Bloom engine.
The plant engine. What do you
Green
want?
Ranger.
Green Ranger is Slop.
Yeah, that's
Sure, I'll give you that. But they said Bloom, and Bloom is not Slop.
that's
Yeah,
because
Bloom is an archetype.
Bloom
that's
has
like
tons-
saying Gallantmon. Gallantmon isn't Growl Slop.
Guys,
It's Gallantmon.
No,
It's
no.
not real Slop. It's fucking BT1, where people were playing the most.
Yes, good
the
stuff.
old, the shit people want when they were like, I just want to play green good stuff. I want to play blue good
Nobody,
stuff.
first of all,
Galaxy
nobody-
Mirage was Slop, bro.
First of all, nobody wants to play green good stuff. Okay, that like nobody
Sorry,
wants to play
Marcel.
green.
That-
It was
that's-
just
that's
you're,
Green Ranger.
you're wearing green. I said the first color I
It's
saw.
actually blue. The camera's not doing a good job. But
Oh, my bad, dude. I'm colorblind.
oh, you know what?
Just
My
play for
bad.
game lore. Tom is colorblind.
I mean, the problem is like Bloom, because it's struggling to keep up right now. It's resorted to like the dodgy super serums that turn you into a sludge pile, like at the end of the episode, and like, remember, kids, don't do drugs because you'll end up as a slop pile and die in front of Superman. So like that's what Bloom is like becoming Slop, because they're just putting anything in order to try and get a top with a Bloom Lord in the list.
Sure, I'll give you that.
I went to locals this week and Johnny was there.
Okay, see, the problem is
Johnny Slop.
when Johnny Slop.
Johnny
when-
Slop.
When I'm trying to do PR, unfortunately, I have to negotiate with a terrorist, and that terrorist is called Johnny Lowe.
Johnny Slop.
You're like at your like standing trial. It's like, Your Honor, my client would never. And then they start bringing up his tweets on stream. Like, you said that, bro.
Well, it's just like 100 clips of Johnny going, "Here we go."
And he just puts on whatever fuck ass level 6 he can find.
Go. I love that, man.
No,
No, Mercy touched on it though, right? Like a BT1 is Slop because
Slop.
it's not. There's no cohesion. Your deck is colors
might
that
have
do
been
shit
playing
together.
You might have been playing like one Agrumon, one Greymon.
Yeah, you have the starter deck, fucking Greymon and War Greymon in the same deck. Whoa, dude.
Like, that was Slop. That was
yeah.
color Slop.
Yeah,
Okay.
and like there are differences. So like when Crossheart, like people, you can dislike decks that are just trait stuff.
The traits are
I
defined
think-
archetypes.
Yes, but I think that like when people are like, I hate when trait decks are good, I miss archetypes, or I hate when blah blah blah, like I hate soup decks, I miss archetypes. Those are archetypes. Like Marcy said, like that is a different thing. And like when you look at like the shit that is like the outliers, there are people abusing like a certain packet, like Galaxy as an engine versus, you know, whatever else. To a degree, that could be Slop if you want to call it that. But like I have said this on past episodes of the show. There is maybe the king. I like Leviamon as an example because I know people played it and gave a shit. But if there was one deck that less deserved its tops and is the most goat slot pile of all time, it's Mother Hybrid. That is the granddaddy of slop decks. Nothing will ever be as bad as that.
Bro, it's
it
Mother
was 90
anything.
things that gave the keyword blocker, no goddamn synergies. It was hybrids over Mind Link Tamers. There was an absolute wasteland of design leaving that thing.
Is Setcon slop?
It's Mother.
Setcon is absolutely slop.
No, Setcon is Lunchables.
Setcon is recovery slop.
Lunchables with lead.
No, wait, it's what's the Logan Paul one? Lunchly. It's yeah.
Dude, this is why KSI.
I got moldy cheese in my one.
Guys. He knew we were gonna come for him.
Yeah, he Lunchly in Prime.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want the misplay for games smoke. Back to FIFA.
I don't even think it's back to FIFA. It's like
it's back to 6-7ing in
toilet
a
paper on
supermarket.
scrolling YouTube short videos or whatever. Brain slop.
Brains.
$1 versus $2 video. Anyway.
Listen, gang, that's my 2 cents on the slop stuff. Thanks for coming up the mountain to talk to the misplay gurus.
We're gonna kick you down that mountain.
We're always right. You can get
looking ass.
back the way you came. We'll see you later.
It's my mountain, and you're gonna climb it over and over again. And these people, they just say things, okay? But guess what? I say things louder, so I win.
It's also, again, I can't emphasize enough that like if the concern is that it's like, oh man, I miss when X archetype was good.
No, you don't.
You don't.
Like you haven't kept up with Digimon.
You don't.
It'll break your fucking heart to see a deck full of Agiomons, Agiokusmons, and Jupitermons, or like that Puppets still haunts around BT16s, or like goddamn Glowing Dawn is themed off the entire TV show and it exclusively is full of stuff from the TV show, or like
I think Glowing Dawn's
bees,
a great...
for God's sake. You know what I mean?
I think Mother Dawn's
Mother Dawn.
But
Mother Dawn.
The Glowing Dawn stuff is like an interesting thing where it like people don't complain about Crossheart as much because I think Crossheart,
Not
even though
anymore.
yeah, well, one, it's like not crazy Bidif destroying the game. It's like a contender deck, so it's kind of like people's champ, and also it's very set in its color identity. It's always been red, yellow are the 2 forms of removal, and every so often the level 7 makes you go, it does what? Glowing Dawn is a great example of that. It is green and yellow. And then it goes, I am unaffected. You go, it does what? I think that people have less issue, even stuff like Abyss, where like the Abyss stuff was blue, yellow, basically just blue. The trait slop decks that stay in a color identity, I think people bitch about less because as much as they're tied together by a trait, you see the egg flip, they resolve a rookie or 2, and you go, this is the game plan I'm playing around. When you see true Rainbow TS slop, and it's just like, okay, I've made something to be
TS slop. Can you show me one
for me
that was TS slop?
For me,
that's playing just like TS shit with
Bristol.
some other bozo one.
Bristol.
What was it?
It was
Megazoo.
Olympus
Megazoo.
The intended
That's
game plan,
slop?
yes. The intended game plan, yes.
So it's not slop. It's
no. That's I'm using it in this. I'm using it in this context. But that deck was designed to be a toolbox, and it's an alternate gameplay style. But I'm using it as more like a not bad example, but like as an intentionally kind of like.
You're hearing the case out.
Yeah, like
yeah, I get
it
you.
has access to so many different colors that when you're like, okay, I'm going to try and build a 6, or I'm deck building to make sure I don't get outed by the Source Strip bounce, and then Marsmon comes down and hits you in the fucking face, and then you're like, sick, all right, and then, oh no, they triple loaded off of Volcanus, and now they're huge, have D-Digivolve, Sec +9, can't remove it. Like, when people are playing, especially when they're still evolving, and then you look at the inherits list, and it does 6 different things, and dismantles your board, because there was no way to play around the fact that it has access to every single color's best bits, is where I think a lot of people get really frustrated in that every deck turns into brown.
But do they? That's the thing that confuses me. It's not that they're stealing every deck's best bits. It's that the individual broken outlier cards. I think Harry said earlier in the chat, was like part of what people are sick of in fucking Beat Break is when they go HPD and Blinding Ray in the same turn.
Yeah.
But that isn't
That's
the
not
trait
Slop.
soup being disgusting. That's that they didn't ban the Infinity Stones.
Yes.
Like it has nothing to do with how many colors your deck has. Like it's cringe when they fire rocket you. Yeah, I agree, man. But like on a certain level, I was told people like generic cards.
Yeah.
And the crusade we've had on here for killing all the generic stuff off has been totally misplaced.
I think it's more annoying when it's in the form of removal. When you get jammed by an Infinity Stone, you roll your eyes no matter what color you're getting boomed by. And Fire Rocket is a very funny case of like, this card was designed for this, and they just simply never thought about it again. And the deck is, again, Crossheart is native red, so like getting boomed by Sec +1 in a native red deck, that's, if you didn't look up at the sky and see the clouds and are surprised it's raining, that's on you.
Yeah.
When you're getting removed in different ways, I think that's where people get.
So it's like when they find the Time Stranger Link spell.
Yeah, you get
or like when Hoodie used to Comet Hammer.
Yeah, like oops, my purple deck has bounce removal. Didn't see that coming, did you, Chud?
I understand now. That does. You know what? If that's the stance everyone has, I hear it and I get that.
Picking up your cards off the playmat because you've been removed is an annoyance. Picking up because you got removed because you didn't know that they actually had access to the circle and it does fit in the square hole is really annoying. Non-black decks having D-Digivolve, excellent example. When I sit against black control deck, sure. When I sit against red aggro deck and they out my fucking board with D-Digivolve, I'm ready to kill them.
I think that it's just I think the Slop allegation sort of like started more so.
People are also getting lazier in discourse, so like Slop is coming up for minor.
It's like a substitute for just
anything
that I don't like.
You said at the start of that, Andrew, this like I think people are more forgiving about like 1 or 2 color Slop things, but it's like, do you not remember how nuclear the Growl Slop stuff was last year? That every deck was just Growl Slop.
I was going to say that like I think there's like a difference between like. Well, okay, personally, I think that there's a difference between quote-unquote Slop versus quote-unquote engine. Because, like, using an engine to leverage a strategy, to me, is not Slop versus who would be considered, like, what we can define as, like, Olympus 12, like, toolbox. Somebody might say that that's just TS Slop, right?
Yeah,
but
sure.
I think the difference is that, like, an engine can have a defined win condition, whereas like a toolbox sometimes doesn't and just kind of like outgrind you in a way. Or like at Bristol, some of the TSX, they weren't winning because like they had like a defined like kill turn. They were winning because they like
6 Digimon on the board.
They spent like 3 to recover +1 and turn everything that's on board into a reboot blocker. Whoops.
Yeah, like kind of like they won off of like leveraging like a strong position that led to like a kill line rather than like this is how the deck kills every single time. So like when we looked at like the Growl stuff, right? The Growl package, I think even though the Growl engine for a lot of people that was just Growl X Slop, but that was also because like the deck's like win condition was like looping a bunch of like different things and like a lot of like one-offs and hoping to like get into them. So it was like an engine that had like a Slop win con. It was kind of like Uko and then like revive the Rush Geel and then like promo Gallantmon and Gallant X sometimes and then like maybe a hybrid for game or the Arrestrodramon or like Unsuspend Levialine. It was like you were dying to like lots of like lots of individual cards just like coming up over the course of the turn.
Yeah, I think the fact that Growlsmith wasn't as prevalent as well, I think helped it. People just be like, yeah, okay, it's still Growl Slop or whatever, but it's not like do you remember when Guru X was at full capacity and purple was just 45 cards plus whatever you felt like putting in? Like Beelstar was on it, Guru was on it, any purple deck that was an okay enough level 6 was on it. Like I think that trended more Slop than Growlsmith was, just because I think Growlsmith, like you said, was not nearly as good as Guru X engine.
The PR campaign to call it Growlsmith is heroic.
It's still very funny. It's just a fun way of referring to it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't as cookie cutter put it in everything as like
but you're
Dark Animal.
right. Like in those formats, those were more homogenized, nightmarish deck building than any time. Like even when Hoodie was at its most bullshit, and it was like it can play any CS card. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Well, but that's my point, Marcio. Is to some people that it's the slop deck. Because
Which is crazy.
It's not there's no canon evil lines, and you're not doing it. It's just trait soup, and it's like you fundamentally misunderstand how the deck building in Digimon becomes interesting. Because I would do 1,000 of that before I return to Garurumon X at 4, Gabumon X at 4.
We talk loudly into the void a lot of times, and I think the misplay for
there's 100 people here. I'm talking. They're like right in front of me behind the camera.
No, I'm talking about how sometimes this was just like a point where like somebody was like, oh, I was instigating, but like I didn't consider a certain thing, right? I I always find it quite fun that like us and the viewers, like we can kind of like
we
have built a community of intellectuals.
Yes, but
or instigators, which is why it's fun.
Yes. But what I'm saying is like when we're like telling the brain dead commenters that like they're wrong for calling something slop.
Dude that's just like in the Twitter replies like not another Omnimon and this one has traits.
But I think it's also like some people just with Digimon, I would say like Digimon's like a more casual game, and some people are not like as seasoned at like defining like certain parts of like what makes a card game, like what gives it its skeleton, right? Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't really hear like the term slop like that. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, there was like a like with the modern framing of like the words that we say in 2026, like calling things slop. At one point, you had like extra deck slop where you were just kind of playing like the best like extra deck monsters. Like it was like Apo Baron, fucking Omega, Borrelos,
Zeus,
DPE, Zeus. Like that was like slop, right? Like no matter what deck you were playing, your end goal was to end on these cards. But now it's like, well, decks are a bit more like defined. Like there's a couple of outliers here and there, but like in Digimon, I think it's just like. No, Brandon tends to be.
I think Brandon is still more insular than what people are still calling soup in Digimon, though. Right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, Brandon tends to stay with its realm of like, because with Brandon you have like very specific things that you want to go into. You typically like the only time you kind of deviate is like off of like super poly. A lot of the time you're making your own cards. But say for example like. I don't know how familiar people are with like Yu-Gi-Oh, but like a lot of the times like Azamina type shit, like White Forest Azamina, like Azamina, White Forest, Fiendsmith is just like engines on engines on engine with like some Mitsu cards, like throw fucking Yummy in there, Magnet Warriors. Those are the slop decks. But I think a lot of times it's just like people in Digimon are still quite new to differentiate what is slop versus what is engine.
Yeah, and I think the other thing in Digimon is that with whether or not you felt great about it, if you were a Digimon guy in 2019 and a Digimon guy in 2020, you felt the change in the interaction in the medium. Did my bike boom out there?
No. I'm saying,
yeah. Like the card game is now maybe the granddaddy. Like Beat Break is so good. Time Stranger, I think Time Stranger gets the #1 slot. I think the change to the Digimon landscape partly was made possible by how successful the card game was. The card game being such a big hit meant that Time Stranger could be huge and be a giant deal. But like, if you were a capital D Digimon guy, you didn't need to engage with card games the same way the Yu-Gi-Oh people have had to all throughout the years, or the Pokemon people have throughout the years. So interfacing with card games as a concept introduces certain levels of like, well, you have to understand the medium we're talking about. But also, like, the thing I always thought was interesting, I was talking to Cobb, friend of the show, good dude.
I wouldn't say friend.
We're homies. I get along. But
make one, take one.
Yeah, to take one, make one lives in my heart. When I'm having a bad time and I think about what my life will be like when I'm 90 and full of dementia, I'll remember meeting Cobb at Liverpool, and he'll say, "Take one, make one," and it'll make me happy.
Dementia.
Yeah, I'll have dementia, bro. What do you want?
You might remember you had like pork pie, but like
no, Marcy, you're completely out of your mind if you don't think I'm gonna remember Gallantmon. That's the worst part of my life. No,
you remember Gallantmon for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, listen. Sorry, all I'm saying is he made a comment about like how it's weird when like the game feels better, like, and it's a feeling thing versus like a numbers or stats thing, whatever.
Vibes-based analysis.
Like, yeah, vibes-based analysis. But it's like, is it cool when Tentomon turns into Greymon? And I'm like, well, unless your only point of interaction was the show, which I would understand.
Which is majority.
A lot of people like the show. I get it. But like, that's one of the appeals to me is that like when I play Next Order or Digimon World or something, bro, I might turn Tentomon into a dinosaur.
Okay, but I think that's the thing,
that's
right?
cool. That's why the field decks are cool to me.
But we like the field decks because we think that like Digivolution like trees
branching and doing weird shit is cool.
But a lot of people only consume Digimon from
they like
show.
Gabumon.
I'm trying to figure out
like to turn into Garurumon.
It's interesting as well because it depends on which one you start. Because like once you hear Data Squad is your first, that's not the Agumon that I grew up with. If you grew up with a different one, and that's like the first, like, okay, alternate lines are real kind of thing.
Season 1, they had Skull Greymon,
Yeah, like, but he's like a dark Evo. Like, it's not like, this Agumon, he's gonna turn into Greymon. He turned into, I mean, he's still a Greymon, but that's not my now he's got like a different metal arm that is USA, and then he turns into a completely different thing. So like that's like the and like even like Yoshi and like we get a different way to get to Rosemon and stuff like that. I guess 6, like Cross Wars is like the first time that you're like, all right, we just whatever we feel like today, new form. That's like the first like branching Evo line main show. This is like the gimmick. So I guess it really depends on how boomer you are.
To a degree.
It's like the fantasy of like, this is my Digimon, he is my partner. I want to play the deck where my guy turns into like the guys that I like. But that I think that feeling stems from like anime viewers.
Yeah, I play Armor instead of Digimon, I play Armor instead of Imperial because as much as I like Imperial Dramon, the Armors were the reason I like Vmon.
Wait, somebody made a fucking...
I think the problem is players don't know how to communicate that they believe that the cards break from intended design by Bandai, forgetting words like the Galaxy Tamers, so they just call it Slop. That's not a bad point. Yeah,
like I said, people are lazier in discourse now. Like, why define your point and like really articulate this thing when you can go, ChatGPT, tell them that they're wrong.
I actually have had that thought a couple times this week, or it's like I've seen like a couple posts and I'm like, oh no, this is an AI I'm arguing with. Like I know that now. So don't get rage baited, chat. Don't be like your old man Tom, who's like, yeah, you know what, kids these days when they hate on Satellamon.
Back in my day, when they made a bad point, at least they thought about it. Now they just get the machine to think for them.
Back in my day, when we played red good stuff, the best War Growlmon was Rise Greymon.
Okay, but red good stuff was like the best deck in the
format. So fucking uninteresting. I'm so glad I stuck with Digimon, but goddamn, like true, like what the fuck? Were we all okay with Gabumon? Like that he played no Garurumons?
So that's the thing that I always like come back to is like a lot of people kind of like missed out on the boat of playing the ideal Digimon that they would want to play. Like when people now, especially now, get into the card game, they have this like fantasy of like, oh yeah, the memory gauge and the tug of war and the back and forth. Yeah. That shit has sailed, bro.
Yeah, you had to play Slop back in BT5.
Like, that Digimon that you're like fantasizing about playing, that is God. We haven't been doing that for like 3 years.
That
Boost killed it.
That shit is table 3. That shit is like, round 3 or table 6. In a local. That's when you get to play that shit. When everyone chooses to show up with tier 3 powered decks. Me and Tom played some excellent back and forth Digimon. The matchup, Abadomon versus Axel. We played dog shit. And even then, it still kind of turned into like, out you. Okay, your thing completely shuts off my deck. GG's. I bricked. GG's.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, you actually brought up a good point here, which is I think like, even though I would consider Digimon to be like more casual, and this doesn't actually mean anything. I think like Digimon just also makes for really bad like casual games because like so many decks just like randomly floodgate each other. Like you sit down with the intent of like playing for nothing, and then it's so easy to find like a point in the matchup where you go, oh, this is miserable because like it's so lopsided that like how are we supposed to like sit down and just like enjoy like
Yeah, I think I agree 95%. I think the 5% is it's fun if you're playing like Bandai's white bread printed take this list at home and play it versions. But like when players who derive their satisfaction from card games in like complicated deck building, like problem identification into solution driving, like making all of your shit tie together. Like when you can do that kind of optimization, you're 100% right. That's when the game is like, oh, I can't do this at the coffee table with my homies anymore. But when you are like, bro, this deck has so many problems, but I want to jam it for 3 hours with the buddies, like, and everyone is on that level, and you're like not playing the most like nightmarish, super consistent thing that like can 100% of the time execute its thing to a clock on turn 3. That's when the game is different.
Yeah,
but it's like,
or sometimes the payoff is nothing. Like genuinely, the payoff is nothing. I make a Battlemon core, and people go, "Does it have protection?" I go, "Hell no!" I'm like, yeah, that took 5 turns, so you can out it with 1 card. Sick. When Tom makes Volderam in Excel, I go, "This is the intended line." Holy shit, Volderam does a lot.
I think what it is, right? I was trying to figure out like when did this like go wrong, quote unquote, because I remember when the game, was older, or the game was newer, and it was like the earlier sets, like it was less about like matchups and just like playing good Digimon, quote unquote, because like I think what it is that, well, I got reminded of this because like Jill in the chat put that like Shine versus Talisman, like that's just
Shine versus Dianamon.
Right. There's so many like things that either because you have a mandatory effect you play into the opponent, which means that you automatically lose, or the opponent stops you from doing an action that's crucial to your deck, right?
You guys would, I mean, Marcio knows because he played Akuband and Red Hybrid and stuff, but like there was a period of fucking 8 months where you just couldn't play Red because everything in Red was pop, and there was a deck called Machine Gun.
Yeah. It was impossible.
It was truly like there was no axis you could play the game on.
But I think like the game kind of got to this point because each individual card does so much that you as a player have less agency on like which line of play you want to take, because it's like, well, my deck does this and it always has to do this, versus like, how it used to be back in the day with my toolbox Slop, like
some cards didn't have both text and inherits, and that was good enough. Promo Greymon was like the guy for so long, and he didn't have an ESS.
Like, okay, this is like a super extreme example, right? But like when you were playing BT1, it was like you would make Omni, but just like making Omni didn't like win you the game. Like if you made Omni proactively, the opposing player could go, okay, answer to your Omnimon, and then they would set you back your whole stack back, and then you had to like build up. But they weren't dead just because they lost their main stack because like things were like happening on board or whatever. So and like even to I think like all the way up until, I would say, when did cards like really start hand holding you?
I mean, I think I think BT8 is when the game really changes. I think like the starter decks around BT8 are like a clear like step up of like, oh, you are supposed to like high key. I know we don't like we've all made our case for Mastemon or DNA or whatever, but like high key, the starter deck Gatomon is a card I remember as like a tipping point. I'm like, oh, this does everything for this damn deck.
Okay, it did a lot, but even then, there were so many decks that could like punish like the Gatomon. Like,
it wasn't that it was foolproof. I'm just saying, like, you're asking like when things changed. I think that is like the start of them designing a card that is like a one.
I think it was later.
Shop.
I think it was,
Tom, it's later. Think about it this way: we used to go to
individual card. I'm not talking about individual card.
Are you talking about like when the game plan a deck was acting to make was like, oh, I win the game now?
Like Andrew, to take it away.
Yeah. So think about it this way: we used to use Jesters for testing silly decks because the player base were not good enough to keep up with the amount of skill that we have. Now decks are too good that you can't take a certain tier of deck to Jesters because they will resolve mandatory effects in front of you and you'll die. Yeah. What was the tipping point for that? For me, it's maybe around 17 at a push, but I would be willing to go 21.
I think 17 is like,
I think you're too late there still, maybe.
I would say, I think like for me, the tipping point, because in 14
is the one I would have said.
Like Luga.
with Luga and trainings.
14 to 15, I think, is like when decks kind of became like autopilot-y, and partially not just guys, it's a big ruse. We're talking about trainings, baby.
You all idiots. I said boosts were the problem before. Marcy gets trainings. Andrew, bitch about scrambles.
Bitch about scrambles. No, scrambles are good. No, but I think like in 14, it wasn't like, okay, sometimes you made them rash and burst mode, you died, but that wasn't like always the case. But I think like your game plan was a lot more like linear, where like each card just started like doing the chain. Like it was like this into this into this into this, boom 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 boom. Like 9, I think, is like not a great point, because like
9
was super optimized. I think 9 was
just really optimized. Thank you.
Yes, it was a super optimized meta.
It wasn't that like the cards did everything for you. Like I could do a Grandis OTK, but it was just like each card was individually
You had to be
strong.
shown what you were going for a Grandis OTK or for a Wargrey OTK, though. Like there were points where it was like, or Alphamon, right? Like if you didn't understand what you were doing, the deck didn't genuinely didn't play itself.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just like when you say it's optimized, it's a difference between an optimized deck today and an optimized deck.
So that's what I'm saying. Like people now could still fuck up a BT19.
It was like blurnt.
I don't know, because even there were like, for better or for worse, it was a purple deck. There was importance to what you trashed that could potentially fuck up. Like a new player could not convincingly.
But as long as you just discarded the next level, you comboed.
But there's other things, especially like BT14 Luga, where you had to play out additional bodies that mattered. I think there was stuff that mattered there. I'm talking about like you watch them go and they go to do the next action. You go, mandatory effect that you have to resolve, and you watch as your board dies. Like where you sometimes play against yourself for better or for worse against like a new player, for example. I think those decks, even BT12, fucking Beelzemon, still had enough. Hey, yeah, you could fuck this up.
You know what else? Sorry, I want to add one more thing before we move on from like this exact context in Digimon history. The other thing I think that changes BT14 and 15 to me, and I maybe I'm going to get some flack for this because I actually think they're intelligently designed cards on the whole, is things that trigger on like automatic triggers rather than player action. So like start of main phase rookies. Like when the game was like promote Patamon, hit your security, like that's kind of the game playing itself, right? Like, or like Gabumon was have mat, draw card. And you're like, wow, I go into the next thing that says have mat, draw card.
So that's kind of where I'm getting at, where like the point I'm trying to make is that like
don't defend Apocalypse was the least they didn't think a goddamn what they didn't. I've said this on the show before. I don't have to do it again. They were genuinely convinced that purple players would just not be interested. They really thought 100% all the way to the bottom of their hearts that people were going to use Lady Devimon BT15 to put an Apocalypse level 6 into the raising area. Not one fucking part of them were like, oh, they'll never draw one trash one. Not 1 second did they think about it.
So, because somebody said like all the decks are just straight up more consistent, and I don't think that's the argument that we're necessarily going for. I don't think it's about like consistency. Like, yes, consistent means that you don't deviate from the norm, where like you don't have to play like scrappy games of Digimon where you win because like, you know, you just about clutched up a line or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm talking it more about like decks that require you, what Tom was talking about, how like decks or individual cards make you do an action that is like a progression to like your stack, you know, like you promote your rookie, your rookie will evolve for free. You might evolve into your 4 out of your own free will, but when you evolve into your 4, your 5 will then do a thing and then evolve into your 6 for reduced cost by whatever. So it's like so much of like what decks do now is like this card will make it so that I go into the next card for free or cheaper. And then like eventually like your 6 will be like, okay, this is where like we're now in open game state where
once the chains finish, you go like any effects you're resolving now.
Yeah, like you now are back to like having free will because you're not just doing what like, you know,
like
is expected of you.
Ping pong.
Marcio, I think Marcio nailed that, and I want to use that as a chance to jump back to something Yuxo said in chat that we didn't get to answer, which is at what point does something stop being an engine and does it become slop? And I think it's the design being intentional around you doing that.
Yeah.
So when something is like, oh, this is just the least I can pay for the most I can get in, you know, like let's talk about like, I don't think Bloom is a slop deck, but I think if your green deck's green and like if Mega Gargomon truly has no home, he's that homeless that he's like, I guess my best friend is Lilamon now. You know what I mean? Or like Green Ranger, like Leopardmon is not playing any of his bum ass Deva level 5s. It's not happening. He's going to use the Cool Boy Green Engine or whatever. That's not like when it is support intended to supply a game plan that the deck is already going to try and accomplish. That is its own thing. That I think is where we would look at something like an engine, right? Because it's like Marcio said, like the comparison is out of Yu-Gi-Oh, where you're like, oh well, you know, I'm attempting to build towards this versus like he was nicer, he said, versus a toolbox where you just have a bunch of stuff. I think Slop can still be one thing, but it wasn't built to be one thing.
It's like Andrew just started talking about like ping pong, right?
Yep.
And like,
oh yeah,
so
ping
like,
pong is the bad as it got. Was the EX4 before 14?
So
yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah,
what,
that's
ping
summer.
pong? No, ping pong was EX4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but-
EX4 is before BT14, so we're too late.
Yes.
BT14 is too late.
Yes.
What is Slop?
So
Here we are.
in my
I'm seated.
in my thoughts, I think that Slop has like three main.
Can I get a clip in really quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Real YouTube is draw in MS Paint.
TikTok.
Yo,
Welcome to the YouTube short part of the video.
yeah, you know what? I just gotta change that current topic to like, what is
Just a wolf glick if you want to play
Slop.
Digimon, man. We're big fans.
Slop Masterclass? There we go.
Damn.
All right. So I think, in my opinion, something you've got like engine over here, sure, and then you have Slop over here. I think the thing that changes Slop versus engine, there's like three main points. One is intentionality. So like, is it intended to do the thing? Or is
intent
this
from who though? Intent from the people that made the cards, or intent from like
from
when
Big
when you
Agumon?
as a player are like, these are all the
from
birds.
Big Agumon.
Yeah, so
Right,
from
right.
Big
Agu.
Agu.
I like Big Agu. I know exactly who Big Agu is.
Not to deviate too much, because like when Andrew talked about like Omnimon, I think like Omnimon, while it was sort of like the first one to kind of do it in recent memory, I think it was also like, it's like it maybe because it was the first, but that was the intended thing to do, was like, these actions will do themselves for me, but the point is that like, you know, the deck is designed intentionally to like make Omnimon in like the fewest steps possible, right? Like you
Yeah.
kind of get to like watch a movie.
The only difference between EX4 ping pong and ping pong today is that the day it kills you.
Yeah.
They play the exact same.
Impact and then length is very, very important. So I think these are the main things that kind of like design Slop. So is there developer intent behind the cutscene? Was this a crafted railroad like Omnimon ladder where yes, there is not really much thinking once the combo starts, but it has very strict restrictions on what it can do before you can do anything with it? Or
Sure.
does it end up being a little too flexible? Like Galaxy, there's not a lot of thought about what you do. You have to play this package of cards. And you could argue that Galaxy is an engine. And at the start, people probably would have. But the more you realize that there are flexibility points, then it starts to trend back into Slop, because
Into Slop, yeah.
you stop caring about going 3 into 4 into 5 into make a middling level 6. You now start going, well, I'm playing more of the blue ones because they end on Hexablow, or they end on Mirage.
I think Galaxy is like a good sort of like comparison to like Yu-Gi-Oh, where like you're playing like a spellcaster thing to then like end on like
it's the most one-to-one to Yu-Gi-Oh for sure.
Right. I think like Galaxy kind of works. Whereas like with plants is like you could kind of do the same thing, but like you don't kind of get rewarded for it, and like you lose a lot of your flexibility.
Yeah.
Versus like with Galaxy, where you like Galaxy like got to the point where like actively wanted you to like, it was just, why would you, unless you were role playing, why would you ever go into your intended things when the other things that you could go into were just so much better?
Yeah, there was no other blue that mattered that way.
And that is how we end up on step 3, which is impact. What is the payoff?
There's like, you could, because like Galaxy, you were leveraging a bottom end to enable like a top end, whereas like with plants, it was like your top end required like your bottom end, or like What's like another engine that isn't exactly these two?
Dark Animals.
Dark Animals.
Dark Animals.
Or Growlmon. Or Yellowvac to a degree.
Yellowvac, I think, is
Excellent.
pretty good. Because Yellowvac, we saw sort of like it evolved into like Slop. It kind of just became like Magna X.
Yeah, it became a. So I think one of the things that's interesting there is Armorvac versus Patamon,
Angels.
like Shine Hybrid, like the
Or Angels, right?
Yeah, or Angels, like stuff like that. Like once it goes, all right, here's the engine, and then it just turns into, oh, this was actually just the quickest way to make a completely different deck. I feel like that goes from being engine kind of towards Slop, because the impact goes from like, here's a 2-3 card combo that was very intended, and then due to an oversight, it flexes into an impact that was just not expected. Like, oops, Golden Rapid is still a vaccine, which means why make Vmon or Terriermon when you can make this and then make Magna X? It's the fastest way to make Magna X. When I was like sometimes complaining about like Atratus and like, you know, how it gets to refresh its invulnerability before hitting security, and that makes it inherently more egregious than something like Magna X that technically had better protection. People go, it could be protected when it's swung with Nyaromon, and I go, well, that's not what the card was designed around. That is a design oversight that comes from the Slop version of Magna X.
And they've talked about this with specific cards that aren't like, even if you don't think of them today as like engines, like one of the cards that we used to talk about on this show all the time was Jet Sylphie BT7. And like Jet Sylphie BT7 is so like, it's like a feature creep on the game, right? Like paying 1 to get that much for basically no trade-off meant that there were no yellow decks that weren't just your yellow level 6 on top of this. So it was like, when cards like that are the things that become too flexible, or like that is the oversight, like Andrew had suggested, that's why those cards can't show back up as regularly anymore, is because like they can't make something like this anymore.
I think it's of note that
restricting design space can have that impact.
Yeah, which is one of the things they mention a lot on the ban list. Like it restricts future design space. I think it's really interesting. It sucks for me personally that like we don't like the new stuff isn't LFNC tag. It would have been really interesting to see how it fits into the toolbox, but because they've been incredibly specific about how they've done their tags, it's how much of this can actually fit into LFNC before you've started introducing too many variables to your engine that makes it stop working.
Because with Lifelink Nightclaw, right, or like Galaxy, and like with like Gallimon, you could argue that like Gallimon has a pretty like efficient, or used to have like a pretty efficient engine to climb, but very rarely was like a red deck leveraging like the Gallimon or like the War Growlmon like engine, like a red deck, right, like, and not putting like Gallimon on
the only one was Birds, the only one, not the only one, not the only one, because the Birds cards would go on top of the engine, but very rarely would anybody else borrow Gallimon's engine.
Even though, you know, it pains me to say this, I would argue that Birds was kind of Slop. It kind of got to the point where like Birds were kind of Slop, and like the best way to play the deck was not the way that, like, the engine kind of like leaked out.
Well, it was like red on delete Slop.
Well, the problem was it was very well intent, and then it flexed, and it was, wow, this is actually, the impact was, this is the fastest way to make Oryuken.
Yes, a lot of it was like, Oryuken also enabled like a lot of the Slop piles.
Yes.
Or I think sometimes what brings Slop up is your deck turns into Slop when there's a like outlier powerful card, and you're finding ways to like leveraging it as best as you can. So like with Oryuken, Birds leveraged Oryuken so well that it became Slop, right? Like on the leap Slop is really funny.
I said red on delete Slop.
Red on delete Slop.
Red on delete Slop.
And again, it follows the same 3 steps we talked about. Intent was looping the birds, getting your undeletes. It flexed, and then suddenly it flexed to, this is now the payoff. This is the payoff.
It got even worse, right? Because before we even get to Oryuken, we had to Phoenix X is like a fucking like slop abuser because triggering on deletes unconditionally as long as it was like
he doesn't say bird on it. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
but that's because there's nothing in the game for him to be like, oh, my inherits are birds still, right? Like that can't be a thing. So.
But the problem was like, oh, okay, so like I get to gain a shit X amount of memory, I get to burn a security, I get to play stuff out. And then it's like, oh, okay, I got to play out at level 5 for free. Oh, the level 5 that I played out adds back a piece. And then I can it also gains rush. And then, oh, I can put something on top of it and then DNA into Oryuken, right? Like the way that like Phoenix X and like Oryuken kind of like tied together. And it got even worse when we got the Growlmon stuff. Because then it was like the true like slop maxing. Like this was just like no pig was happy on this form except for maybe like Spanish Mickey Mouse and Tommy Tricks was when it was like Gilmon 3-4, Birds 5-6, or Ryukin. That shit was the biggest pile of slop I've ever seen in my life.
But it was so fucking close to being like a BT3 red deck again, where it was just like the good cards from this line, the good cards from that line.
Yes, but it was like the most optimized extreme version of that. It was like these cards are not restricted by any way. Their synergy kind of got like there was like an oversight in the design, and as a result, these pile of cards are like too good.
Yeah, and then the thing that
Analog Youth, another one.
Yeah. Analog Youth in purple. I would say the thing that really ties together the final bit that really changes people's opinions of whether it's engine versus slop is after you've met all three of these, how long does it stick around?
I think Bandai is more like slop.
Yeah, longevity is really where people start caring about how long, like something was an engine and then it's how quickly can you get tired of it. Like again, you know what? Eden's an excellent example of this. Crossheart is the most
Monodramon engine.
Okay, that does exist. Crossheart is the fastest way to make any red black level 6 in the game. You could argue it's
or to make 90% of them, yes.
In Eden, Crossheart is slop because you're not playing like, you know.
But in Eden, Crossheart is engine. You're using a Crossheart engine.
Yeah, but if Adam doesn't kill Crossheart,
but
and we go through 7 patches,
eventually move past it.
Yes, it's the excellent example of like, wow, that's such an interesting way. Oh, the knock-ons of this mean that every red black level 6 now is really, really good in Eden thanks to Thing. And if we're playing Eden in 7 formats and Adam has still forgotten to send us the version 1.2, we're going to be like, Adam, I'm going on strike and dodging every OPE regional until you fucking update Eden and kill Taiki. Then, you know, the length mattered there.
I think it's tough to end a Misplay segment where we go, and guys, sadly, there is an unquantifiable vibes-based component of this definition where if you just think something's lame and it's been around for a long time, it's slop.
Yes.
Because, bro, every blue deck ever is slop.
Okay.
No, that's not true.
And then we have
was blue tamer slop.
The hidden fifth.
No. You're just calling it because you don't like it.
Agenda, baby.
Yes, so this is the hidden fifth.
They've been in the game too long.
This is where you ignore all of the previous 4 things and simply push the agenda. What I like is cool. What you like is cringe. Slop is everywhere.
Okay.
Royal Knights are slop, by the way. I don't like the Royal Knights. They're slop now. Demon Lord slop. I'm sick of Demon Lord slop.
No, Demon Lords is slop because it just became Ruin mode. It's like Ruin mode slop. Like
Demon Lords is Ruin mode slop. You're right.
Because it's no longer about like the Demon Lords themselves. It's about
them being level 6s that you can put Ruin mode on.
I mean, a lot of the 7s end up like creating slop. Like a lot of the reasons why we
build decks around 6s, and when you can build around a 7, you get to play 6s for free with no opportunity cost. Broken. My quotes,
but
for free.
I'll go to bat for Old Force. The Old Force had it has a defined like playstyle, right? It's like the Tamers, and it has been doing that.
Yeah. Old Force has something going for it. It's just again intent, flexibility, impact kind of dog water.
Old Force has been very good about this. I've never
there's no flex.
the All-Force engine has not broken.
Every now and then I do see that fuck ass All-Force
Zero,
Infinite
yeah,
Unmill
All-Force
OTK
Zero.
thing.
But
But
you know
I
what?
get your point.
You know what?
your
That
point.
has to play the game very tight still. There's no
you're
flexing there.
You're describing War Sidramon Grandest Scissors, like.
Yeah, dude, no, completely dead ass. If I see Shoto and the like Medusa where they go like Dimension Scissor hit the token every time, that's Shoto Slop.
But like I think purple to an extent.
But what is pure? Sorry, that was the other word. I see when I see somebody say I'm playing a pure version of the deck. Do you mean that you're playing the thing Bandai told you was a pure version of the deck? Holy shit, you found me. You did it, little sleeper agent activator. You did it. What is a pure deck, chatter? Tell me. Because if it isn't the sort of thing that is written exactly as 50 goddamn cards on a thing, then I don't get it, right? Because if Titans can't be pure, man, because there's pure purple Titans where you only play the Titamon cards. So Sharkmon wouldn't be in the Titans pure version. It's crazy, man. What's pure? I saw somebody talking about like pure Atmon. Bro, every Digimon in your deck is tagged Atmon. Were they not in the video game together? Is that pure? Am I supposed to know about bootleg shitty 3DS media for the worst Digimon anime ever made to be like, that deck's pure now?
Fan translation for that is now in English.
Bro.
Imperial can sometimes open it up for Slop. I think like Imperial kind of goes in and out of like
the Pildramon engine.
Armor Imperial was a great example of that.
Yeah, Armor Imperial with like the 3-axis shit with like Hexablau in Medieval. That was Slop. Like I played it. That shit was Slop. Like the dragon modes were like secondary to like slapping better fixes on top.
Oh my god, yeah.
Leopard, I will say that Leopard is more Slop than engine. Like it leverages the plant engine, but
it doesn't have an engine, right? Like there's just nothing to do with it.
It does. It's just very like slow and weak. It's just bad. So it's like if I want to play Leopardmon, which is an unbelievable, EX5 card,
you play Vegetation Engine.
Yeah, like
and it's not even normal Vegetation Engine. The fact that the Lilymon is exclusive custom card for Leopard.
I'm gonna throw one sprinkle on top of this, gentlemen. I actually think you can play an individual boss monster and an individual engine, and separately they are not Slop, but together they become Slop. So Green Ranger, Leopardmon is not a Slop card. The Plants engine is not a Slop card. It is an engine. But if I put damn near 50 of those beautiful little homogenized nightmares together with some training, some boosts, some scrambles, and a Mimi in there, my brother in Christ, that's green Slop.
Do you know what takes it over the edge for it being Slop, though? It's the Vortex, the Medieval. Because green stuff.
So when it's an engine supporting all of the individual good top.
Because the Leopard is designed to play out a guy. It can literally do nothing else. I don't even want to call the Leopard X.
Levia was always Levia, right? Levia was never like, I'll randomly play
Titamon
and Anubis, technically.
Yes.
Asterisk.
Yeah,
also
EX5.
But like, when they were like, when Anubis got hit, Mervamon was not still hanging out with Levia, right? Like, Mervamon and Levia was not like their own thing. Pyldra is meant to become Imperial. Brother, who told you that? That's what I mean. Where is pure coming from?
No. Like, he's agreeing. He's saying that like the Pyldramon is meant to become Imperial, but then when you put things that aren't
Hexablau, Mirage.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like when we talk about like, a pure version versus a Slop version, like where is the fucking argument? Like who quantifies like, oh, if I make the wrong War Greymon on my Metal Greymon, is that a Slop thing, or am I not pure anymore? So is a Greymon deck that stops being all vaccines, is that not pure anymore?
No, I will go to bat for the chatter, because the thing is, right?
Here comes the bitch.
The fundamental thing that makes the Digimon card game fun, but as a result corrupts people's perception of what is Slop, is that any Digimon can theoretically become any Digimon, which is the card game
represents that very well.
Represents that very well. But the problem comes back down to like that people, if my Greymon isn't turning into a Metal Greymon, then it becomes Slop, right? Like if my Greymon,
Gray Slop.
What is your Slop tolerance?
Yeah,
so
but chat, I'm not asking for much. When we do this as a podcast, I sometimes try to ignore you guys because I remember this shit is pre-recorded. But this has become something, right? We knew what we were going to do here. I want you guys to genuinely try and help me out. How do I know what a pure deck is?
Seb, no.
Because
Seb said is Virus Fighter in Imperial Slop. No, it's not.
No, it's not Imperial Slop.
It's
intended.
Yeah, but like
very intended.
This is what I'm getting at. Is it's like when they make these choices, I guarantee you how many. Yeah. How many people we got in here right now? I'm breaking the envelope open. Let me close the chat really fast. There are 29 people on YouTube, some number on Twitch that I can't see really conveniently. Whatever, doesn't matter. However many people there are, I want you guys to tell me in the chat what you think constitutes a pure version. How would you and someone you've never met before, like, determine in Digimon what a pure version of the deck is? Is it just cards that came out in that expansion?
I'll tell you for you. Pure is like, it would be like Agumon, Greymon, Metal Greymon, War Greymon. That is the closest thing that you can get to.
But if I play that and I'm like not using tie, but they're clearly the tie cards, am I not Greymon? Like, am I?
No, I think you're griefing is what you're doing there.
No, yes, sure, but I'm saying like if I'm playing Yuya Kuga, or I'm playing Nokia, or not Nokia, yeah, playing Nokia BT5, or I'm playing.
That becomes more Greymon Slop.
Right. But or like a Yuko, right? Is Yuko and Gaiumon a unpure version of Black War Greymon? Like, how would we work these things out? Does the black box specify a name? So it's only black box Evos make something pure.
I think that is like,
it's a good baseline to work on because you get additional benefit sometimes, especially in the 2-color decks. You get the additional benefit of a cheaper evolution because you have stuck to canon name. I think that is a great example of how the game responded to people's complaints about pure, and also how some lines were split across different colors.
You get rewarded for being in archetype versus like.
So if I'm playing a Lekmon BT24 and he finds just Iliads and Time Strangers, am I playing a pure Iliad and Time Stranger deck?
I mean, it kind of depends on the deck configuration as a whole. Because
I think Iliad is an inherently unclean tag. It's Harama shit.
Let's say for the sake of argument that I can show you the list and it guarantees hits on my Digimon at 100%, that every Digimon in the list is hittable off of Iliad and TS. Is that a pure deck?
Yes, but the anti, like the slop hater Andy will say no
because Iliad isn't a line; it's just a giant ass server. Meanwhile, my epic and based Liberator pure deck that only hits Ghost and Liberator won't always double hit because not every single Ghost is Ghost and Liberator tagged, and my team.
People used to roll their eyes at that too. Like when people would say, like, I'm playing the Muchomon and the Shoto Zafagamon deck. Like, that's from the comic book.
Yeah,
some people uses Muchomon.
Some people
are like,
comic.
It's not pure. It's not Alteramon.
No, those people are morons and did not read the comic book.
Right, but it's like, do I need to know that this superfluous media that has fuck all to do with the trading card game I'm buying a booster pack for, or I'm building a deck for an event?
I think it's just perception.
How do we work this out?
I think it's just like people forget what like Digimon is. Like people forget that like this is a very like central point to like Digimon, right? Like Digimon is not a like people confuse Digimon for Pokemon. Like in Pokemon, your Charmander will never be a fucking war.
Can't be a war turtle. Yeah.
Yes, but in Digimon it can, right?
Yes.
But people don't like that your Charmander becomes a war turtle, and they want your Charmander to always be Charmeleon.
So I've seen a couple messages in the chat. So TS and CS decks and so on are disqualified from being pure.
Agreed.
That's a different new take that we haven't had yet.
No, I think
again, I said if we asked 50 people, they wouldn't be able to.
No, I think that's genuinely a pretty reasonable. Like I said, what's your slop tolerance? It's do they meet all tags, or what does that tag represent? I would not consider Crossheart slop, even though it does talk about a huge range of Digimon, because there is a central thing. Iliad and TS and CS is, did you know this Digimon was featured in the game?
Sure, yeah.
Some of these Digimon can't turn it. Okay, well, I mean, there's Grindosaurus shown that every TS Digimon can technically become every other TS Digimon.
Yeah.
However, like if you were to run into them in the wild, you're going to run into the Gear Forest guys, and they're all technically like a Gear Forest thing.
Right, so if Gear Forest is a pure deck, you can play pure Gear Forest by playing TS with its sub-tag.
I think there's levels to it. I would say it is more pure than like a TS or Iliad.
Like the E-Daters, right? Like any E-Dater
the fish TS stuff, or the TS Angel stuff, that can be pure, right?
So I'll explain even like on the Pokemon thing, right? I think like a lot of people forget that like Digimon isn't just about like your quote unquote canon evolutions, and it's more comparable to like routes in Pokemon, right? It's like imagine you had a deck that was like Route 104. And like all of the available Pokemon.
That's a great comparison. You fucking killed that. Yeah.
All genuinely. The Pokemon in Route 104 is like that constitutes like your deck or your line or whatever.
Yeah.
But people just want it to be like, fucking Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard.
Yeah.
But like Digimon is closer to like this is your Cinnabar Island deck. Any Pokemon that's like on native to like Cinnabar Island, that's your deck, right? And that's like people just kind of like don't account for that, and then because it deviates from that, then it's like, oh, this is Slop now. But it's like, no.
Yeah, I love that we got the Sylphie one and how we defining canonicity back to back, because Sylphie's an excellent example, and Shaq, when he's not explicitly doing war crimes, excellent example. You're getting Cody's Armadillomon that's going to turn into whatever the best Samari or something else is, or Ankylo, that then might turn into TS
TK's
or
Patamon.
CS Shacklemon. Like, I think that's a great example as well, as like where Marcio says this is a centralizing point for a lot of people that are not familiar with the Digimon media or are not familiar with every form of Digimon media, is their understanding of a canon is unique to what they know. Like, Vmon's a great example, like the All Force. What the polar bear doing? Why is Tai Kamiya in All Force? And that's because there's a canon where
there's a V-Tamer manga.
Yeah, this is a canon where he has it. And I think that's what's really cool about the Digimon card game. But because, again, you need to know so many random niche things, people's definition of slop changes partially due to ignorance.
I was gonna say, it's also that it's not just what they do know, it's what they don't know, right?
Yeah.
So we've seen 1,000, not just today, and I'm not pointing it like chat. You guys have been extremely asking, like, there's been questions and answers today on this Cypher game. Not normally how we do things on here, but like, when we get to like, oh, well, I think this is Slot because it's the 5th Omnimon in a row. But it's like, it's not like when we make the case, it's like, oh no, it was obviously Omnimon. It's the Virus Busters debut. Like, they were always getting Omnimon. It's like, if you do or don't know about certain things in the media, where are you supposed to draw the line? I'm like, how can you be
Galarian Omnimon versus
right? Like,
Aldean Omnimon?
Yeah. And it's like, how are you supposed to be expected to know these things to then be like, what constitutes like a pure thing?
If
like,
anything, I think it's less egregious.
I get hung up on. I'm willing to draw my own fucking line in this and do that and be like, when I see something like that, it's a whole other thing. But like somebody in chat earlier said, like, is that not a role-playing deck? And I would say even that is different, right? Because role players are like intentionally choosing cards they know aren't optimal.
I have Chimera in Ghosts. Do you know why? Because it's broken. And also, because Violet resolved it in the thing, I get a free pass. I could put Ruin Mode in that shit, and you couldn't flame me because I would pull up the screenshot from the comic where she does it and tell you to hold my nuts.
It's also extra funny that they chose to do this, like this, we're obviously blowing this out of proportion, but this whole like thing about like the X amount Omnimon, the 18th or 19th Omnimon, it's extra funny because this is like, I think if I'm right, this is the first Omnimon that is more single target removal and not like board wide removal.
Yeah, this is an Omnimon that doesn't beat the Aboromon.
Like, yes, this is an Omnimon that doesn't beat a wide board. Traditionally, most Omnis, which have been Royal Knight Omnis, have taken care of like wide boards, like delete all of the highest, choose a level, get rid of that level, and then pop the rest, or that's like the
less
ace,
sources or something,
or names, or everything with like, this one is like, I get rid of like 2 guys at most.
I hate one virus really, really much.
He's busting the virus.
Yeah, that's true. This one also has no on-play.
No on-play, which is, well, technically the BT1 one didn't have on-plays, but like...
I think it's the first Omnimon to get one since the Royal Knights Omnimon, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I can't even remember if it had an assembly. Like,
because it got overused. We got so many Omnimons in a short span, but Melga Wargray got an actual pure pile / their slop / whatever cards. But if you can't define it, like, I genuinely think this is like a complete, like... Somebody said this somewhere once, but I think this is, with respect, I think that is a bait opinion because I genuinely can't feel it in me that can be some, like, I could see 101 of my bestest buddy Gabumon getting 100 new cards. And it would be like, oh, well, whatever, it's another Gabumon. But if they don't have anything to do with each other and they aren't themselves like part of some pure thing or whatever, then like it doesn't matter how many of them there are. It's not like it's contending. Like you are never gonna get a different Digimon in the Virus Busters level 7 slot.
He's always canonically
like
there.
3.
I mean, Metal Empire's even worse. Yeah, like that's valid. I am someone that's not particularly fan of seeing Charizard in every single.
Frustration is different than genuinely thinking it's like something wrong with the game. You're like, I'm sick of it personally versus the game is Kusoge. This is terrible.
Everyone,
nothing but Omnimon.
Everyone talks from their own lens of their experience. If someone fucking loves Charizard and they're like, man, I love seeing Charizard every season. Look what Charizard does now. Isn't that so cool? Wow, he's big in this one. That's so cool. Me going, fuck, I'm so tired of Charizard. Oh, in ZA, he's probably going to get Charizardium Y or whatever. You know, Flygon doesn't have a fucking Mega, but do you know who's about to get their third one? Charizard.
It's true.
And
Shit,
why is that? Because corporations appeal to the people that are right, okay? If you like a dog shit fucking no-name, you deserve nothing. You could complain and cry every Nintendo Direct that there's no Flygon whatever, no Flygon this, don't care. I'm sorry, if my guy from the 90s is still kicking it and your guy, you know, didn't break into like, what,
he's not on a Uniqlo t-shirt, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
No Uniqlo t-shirt, no middle schooler top 5, then it's not worth it. You know who is on the high schooler, middle schooler, university student top 5? Bloody Charizard. It's something with Omnimon.
You're right.
My
bro.
point still stands. Omnimon sells, okay? Nobody gets into the Digimon card game because of little fucking Sangomon. Who gives a shit about Sangomon?
I think the thing I don't necessarily like, I understand you want your guy to get a card. I do get it. But I think the disconnect is like it's not a zero-sum thing here, right? Like, yes, there's only so many cards they're printing, but like every set for the last like God knows how long has been so thoroughly themed for like down to detail, like the artists draw referenced art from source material, like the game characters are referred to by the actions they take in the video game. Like when they do these things, like it is about like a very specific choice that they're making as designers to be like, we're going to represent this in the card game. So when Omnimon takes a card, you weren't like, ah, man, that stopped like
Proximamon,
Agudamon or Proximamon from getting it. No, like it's not a zero-sum game. Like you're not losing something because somebody else got something.
And you'll probably get it later. That's the best bit about it.
Yeah, you're probably getting a free goddamn store promo.
Like low-key, if this Omnimon sucks, if this Omnimon sucks in VB and VB is just kind of a nothing burger pile, that Proximamon's gonna fucking move countries. Probably.
The Omnimon.
Okay, and then like I won't keep dogging because I want to let that be living, and you know I've made my case. But like I've seen a comment in there about like when was the last time Greymon's or Garurumon's got
Unfortunately,
a line. I would argue that Greymon got a whole goddamn line in EX10 and in BT23 and in BT22, but because they weren't Omnimon cards and they were kind of bad, nobody cared.
I think that's the other thing as well. You sometimes also have to have some of the self-awareness that unfortunately, sometimes your intended line just happens to also make another intended line. I like Matadormon. That's one of my top 10 Digimon. I really like Matadormon, but I like Sangaloopmon even more. Don't like Dracmon, don't like Grand Dracmon. I can never make a deck that is just Matador Sangaloop because I got to put something on top of it. And the thing that does it the best is the intended line that I don't like. So you just like, yeah, sure. Melga as a deck doesn't do anything anymore. And even when it did, Gas, you know what it made the most? Omnimon. It just made Omnimon again.
Garuru Alter S was a deck for a minute, by the way.
A lot of it is just like
understand. And again, EX10 was a whole line.
It's like product literacy, right? It's like understanding like what is coming out ahead of time to like manage your expectations, because like when they announced Shambhala, me and Tom, we were like, dude, we know what Shambhala is going to be. And then they were like, also we're supporting the pendulum decks. We were like fucking like Pog champing. We were like, this is like the best thing ever. But then like some people then kind of like get disappointed because they don't understand like what a product releasing, like, well, they don't understand like what the contents mean. So when like you're not expecting, say for example, like an Omnimon in the Virus Buster set, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe they like released another Omnimon. It's like, well, yeah, your cereal has gluten. What do you think it was going to be? It was always going to be another Omnimon.
The funniest thing about this is I think it would be more justified to be complaining that the Omnimon is the ME slot. Because I was at UKGE and we looked at the Humulus thing and I went, oh, there's no level 7 because Chaos Dramon is as far as the card game is concerned, a level 6 mega. Like there's no 6+ thing for ME. So I was like, oh, this has to end in an Omnimon.
As far as we knew, Chaos has always been and always was a 6. So it was neat that they were like, we're changing up how we're doing things. Chaos Dramon's a 7.
Yeah, like it's like obviously, you know, 6 and 7 aren't real things as far as like actual levels in Digimon. It's like 6+, it's mega, like they are megas. But because of how the game has really set a precedent for Chaosmon existing, Omnimon was guaranteed. Like just genuinely guaranteed.
Because we knew what the set was about.
And if the Metal Empire guys were complaining that it's like, oh, I didn't really want my Metal Empire Machine Dramon deck to end on Omni, valid complaint. If you looked at Virus Busters and didn't realize that the thing that has War Greymon in the thing wasn't going to contact fuse into Omni, that is on you. Genuinely, that's on you.
What I will say is I understand like the fact that Bandai, I think partly because they don't know how much longer the game is going to go for.
They're surprised every time that they get a new set.
Yes, right?
Yeah, to a degree.
So I feel like because they have other more profitable IPs, they don't quite know like when the game is gonna end. So they don't want to take too many chances on like making like dud products in a way. And they're kind of like,
well, the point of order, Digimon apparently is doing better now than it has been this whole decade.
Yeah.
But I think like we've had like little like boosts of like, okay, this is going to increase the game's like longevity for like another few years, right? Like when we got the comics like announced, right? That was like, okay, boom, we know that, you know, at least for like another year, we're gonna get X amount of product, right? And so they can kind of like fit some stuff into like those releases. Like I think with Time Strangers, the video game coming out, that was like another, oh, okay, interesting Digimon. We can like tie this into the card game, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna get like a few more things like released. But then I think it's that because we wasted so many sets releasing like TS stuff, and then like we got an EX set, and the EX set is like, okay, we're gonna catch up on something that we started, even if it's like not the most popular, which was like the Pendulum decks, which if you're a Digivice head and you love the Digivice, you know, lines, those decks, like, you know, your Nature Spirits, your Deep Savers, finally we're getting Virus Busters, that's hype. For a lot of people, they just kind of want like support for the decks that like got them into the game. And right now that like there's nothing in the horizon that's saying, yeah, you're gonna get more of like what you want, right? It's like,
I don't know. I get your perspective, but I think we have to keep it honest when we look at these things. It's like, when was the last time X deck got support? And it's like they just printed the best Garurumon in like a year and a half. It's very functional in a Garurumon deck. Oh, when was the last time Greymon got a whole damn line? I was like, whatever pure Greymon means to people. You got a level, you got an egg, you got a fucking 3, you got a 4, you got a 5, you got a broken level 6. Like, I don't know what people can want. And that's not like Cyber Sleuth. I'm talking EX10, like with the taunt that they all
maybe want. Because we just haven't got like a Tamers dedicated thing.
Yeah, or like, yeah, exactly, right? Like there's so many layers to this, but we have to be honest about it. We can't be like, it's just this every time. And it's like, but it objectively
it could, do you know what the funny
thing? Just because it isn't working doesn't mean it's not.
It also could be worse. I think part of the reason it's specifically Omnimon fatigue is because every single Time Stranger DLC, like we don't have a TS Omnimon, which, you know, amazing saving grace. We don't have a TS Omnimon, but you know what?
They did just give us, for what it's worth, they did just give us TS, what's his name, Susanomon, which I think low key kind of means that TS Omnimon could be on the table.
We're gonna get one. Don't worry. Like I'm pretty sure EX13 is gonna also be Time Stranger support, because do you know what also was in every single Time Stranger DLC? A fucking Omnimon.
It's true.
I mean, I think a lot of people, it just kind of comes down to like getting mad at the company for like selling their best selling product. And it's like, yeah, you don't think Pokemon are going to put Pikachu on everything that they can? Like Omnimon is our Pikachu. Unfortunately, if you don't like it, it kind of sucks. But if you want to keep getting Scrimblow Bimblows every few sets, we gotta release Omnimons, and they're finding all the Omnimons that they have to try getting them out.
Bro, it's even worse when your shit is either terrible or was good. They finally got support and then immediately gets put on the ban list. I really like Anubismon. I have to clarify that I liked Anubismon kind of before the TCG, and I was playing him in BT4. And
Yeah,
I'm not going to get another one for ages. He's not even in time
that makes it a pure Anubismon deck.
I was not doing pure things with that slot pile. I can tell you very much.
Like
we've done enough rage bait here, gang.
Like I get like the feeling, because like me with bugs, it was kind of like that for a while, where like when the plant and fairies were like when
is
like,
bugs gonna get a card?
Yeah,
when they were like the front runners of like green for like a year straight, it was like, dude, it's plant fairy support, maybe like an Angora line. Tentomon just isn't doing anything right now. And then eventually in like
but Tentomon it was different, right? Tentomon just didn't get a card.
Yeah, Tentomon had
It's not that he wasn't getting, it's not that like people were the equivalent would be like
Heart got a couple of things.
Yeah, you know what? He did get like Hercax and BT10.
Yeah, Hercax, right? And like if you were a bug fan, you had like BT9.
But I'm saying it's the equivalent of being like, oh, like it would be being mad that like Yellowvac was getting support and not like Yellow Data, or like like I want Mitamamon specifically. It's like, where you had a Mitama card.
That got so crazy, by the way.
Yeah. But my point is it's like, you're mad about Angels, but you wanted regular ass Yellowvac, but it's like, it's not the same in any way. Like exactly. Like if I want to hear somebody who's mad about, I almost think the Mirage guys should get to complain more.
Again,
it was so long.
It really hurts when a Digimon you like doesn't get a lot of support and then gets banned.
But I think with the Mirage one, it was so funny because it was just like the card was so ahead of its time that like on release it was like a nothing burger, and then it wasn't until it got like another robust like bottom end plus the combination of like trainings and boost up,
or the craziest engine of all time, Galaxy.
It just brought it up.
We had a Lethal Living clip where we saw that it was fucking Mirage.
Shakamon fans, bro. Shakamon fans are playing Saitan Goku. Saitan Goku.
Dude, high key though, the worst part of EX12, we had like a question like an hour and a half ago, like, hey, what do you guys think of EX12? Genuinely, no bullshit. Susanomon getting revealed is sad for me because I wanted Shakamon and Enmamon, and I don't think we're gonna get them now. You know what I mean?
But like I resonate with the feeling of like your fave not getting much, if anything at all, in favor of like stuff, even if it was pre-planned. Because like I remember it was the first years that we went to in Den Haag. That's when like they revealed the bug stuff. And so they revealed that in December, and we got it in summer, and that was
pre-unification.
So yeah, man, the game being 6 months behind, that was even worse. But at least like
exactly. Kids these days don't know how good they've got it. Oh my god, you don't understand. I used to have to dread. There was a year, bro, where I saw like 9 Vmons get revealed in 8 weeks, and I was like, they're all gonna be playable. It was great, man. Hey, we've been doing this show for a while.
Yeah, this one was a fun one. It was good to be back.
Thanks for listening to the
people yapping.
If you guys like these more than just the deck stats analysis videos, let us know. We're trying to come up with some more like thought-provoking content for us three to do when it's thought-provoking.
What is Slop?
Dude, and I hate chatter. If you maybe watch this VOD back later because you're like, maybe I should give the guys a second chance. I'm sorry I popped off at you when you started talking about whatever Pure was. It's just like, there's so many, Andrew has said it like 5 times in this. There's so many ways that the discourse has been completely dumbed down and ruined over the time that like there's no way to be sure that anyone is saying anything of substance. But like I genuinely think this was maybe Momin was in here before. Shout out to Donkey Nog. Congrats on second Peoria Goat. I think maybe we are on perhaps the most in-depth recorded conversation about what slop in Digimon TCG is on the internet right now.
Yeah, it's one of the benefits to doing this live.
Yeah, and if there's any benefit to Misplay for Game at all, it's that somebody else will be able to go in our comments and be like, well, guys, I agree with 99% of it because you're always right all the time, of course. You guys are the 3 wise men of Digimon, to which we all say yes, of course. But then they'll be like, I have this one thing. And if we don't mute you in the comments, you'll know we thought it was a good point.
But yeah, if you were watching or listening on Spotify or any of those other podcast things, you've been yelling at your car radio or whatever.
Oh my god, we didn't even mention that Andrew was drawing on Microsoft Paint. This is just not going to translate to Spotify.
But it's okay. I'm going to turn this into a standalone YouTube video. But yeah, if you were watching on any of your podcast things and you want to leave your comments.
That's big. Finally, we're getting a little segment, a little, ooh, I get to be on the
Look at us, guys.
On an actual YouTube video that isn't
real YouTube.
Yeah, real Slop.
Marcio was in this video after all.
Ooh, I'm gonna get paid.
But yeah, thank you for watching all of these. When this inevitably hits Reddit with the standalone YouTube video that's like, what is Slop? I need you to.
Oh, if it goes on Reddit, I'm gonna deny every point that you make. Oh my god, I'll go thermonuclear.
If we're not on Reddit, it's so cooked.
But yeah,
Digimon. I love you, Digimon Reddit mods. You guys do a great job.
Yeah, thank you for tuning into episode 73 of the Misplay for Game podcast. Next week I think are going to be.
We got some events to cover and a segment and a return of a game show that people have been asking about.
Probably on a Sunday. But yeah, our days will be a little bit wonky. Me and Marcio are mysteriously busy for a weekend soon after that.
No comment.
No comment.
I hear the weather's nice in beautiful España these days.
Yeah.
Might go get some paella.
Yeah, there's some regionals going on.
We're gonna be here.
Paella.
I will not be getting any paella whatsoever.
I could go check out Camp Nou. I hear it's beautiful this time of year.
But yeah, we're trying to get some people on. I think France is next week. So Sunday we're gonna try and see if we can get Yuxo fresh off of his undefeated in Swiss or whatever. Mina.
Guys, I don't want to make the chatters too jealous, but I got a friend request from Yuxo this morning, who I discovered he and I had not been Discord friends this whole time. So yeah, that's how you know it's big moves up here.
But yeah, we'll be back here next week, not the same time. And just try and be consistent where we can. I'm busy. I'm now turbo busy / unbusy thanks to some changes in my day-to-day. So we'll do what we can. The Discord link in the bio. It should be the correct one. And if it's not,
in the description or in the bio? Do you mean on Spotify?
I don't know, dude. Under my Twitch, maybe. If it's in the YouTube, it should be the correct one. If you're on Twitch, Lord help you. Check youtube.com/KnTElixar and you'll find the correct one for sure, because it'll be in the description of every single video we do. If you're tuned in on Spotify or any of those other podcast platforms, make sure to like and rate us 5 stars and all that good stuff. So that way people know to come and watch us and networks can pick us up because we're an excellent podcast. If you are watching on Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you should check and see if you have a free Twitch Prime. So you can take around about £2.50 from Jeff Bezos and give it directly to me.
Let me check if I've got.
And yeah, join the members so you can get access to stuff. We usually shoot some bonus content directly after the podcast. That's usually another informative think piece and definitely not the actual definition of Digimon Slop. And you get it 1 month early at close to the day we record it if you're a champion tier or higher. Thanks again to everyone that said hi at UKG. Sorry I was not available. I was running Lorcana, so that way I can fund stupid projects like the jackets. I will be at Rotherham. I can tell you that much for sure, and I will be slightly more available, but still working. Bellas, shall we do the thing that people have been waiting for and is usually quite contested when it's these 3 people right here?
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like we could do a pure outro here.
True.
Slop outro.
The Slop outro. The Chud Slop Bibby Bowie.
Is our outro engine
Baba